Yo, welcome back. Last time we did the first half of the trial. It was fucking crazy. First we're accusing Hibiki, then we're accusing Kanade, now we're accusing Iroha. It definitely seems like Kanade is just a killer. I'm really sad that she's gonna die, but you know. Yes, continue class trial. There's no way Iroha is actually the killer. Iroha. The only person who matches the criteria that Kanade mentioned is you, Iroha. No, wait. Why am I the culprit? Why this all of a sudden? Then let me explain step by step. Sir, could you show me the pool gate records once more? Firstly, like Siobai said, Setsuka died in the pool in the morning specifically. Iroha called Setsuka to the pool in the morning. So Setsuka enters at 8:44 and Iroha enters at 8:45. Okay. Wait, I never entered the pool, like ever? Shut up, you murderer. You used my sister to murder Setsuka and blamed the whole murder on me? Now you're going to pay. But I never... So then what? Then she killed Setsuka on the spot, and left the pool at 9:22 to set up the signpost, and she goes off to gather the tools needed to cut the body. So that wasn't Hibiki entering, but Iroha leaving? Yeah, Setsuka's handbook. Then Setsuka's ID, DJ6SX7 should show an output. She then returns to the pool at 9:44. This time she has to use her own handbook. Oh, so nobody was in the pool since 9:54. She's going with the same logic as Siobai, but I see that this approach also makes sense. She finishes preparing the body for 12:54, and after eliminating any traces left, she leaves the pool using Setsuka's handbook. Sure. By doing this, Iroha will leave the pool, but an in-output will be saved according to the records. Wait, let me get this straight. Siobai's theory was that the corpse was cut on between 12:54 and 17:54, right? And you're suggesting that was instead done between 9:54 and 12:54, yeah. Yes, three hours, not 3 houses, that's a Fire Emblem game, should be just enough time to do the job. And by this way, we solved the mystery of why it took 3 hours just to bring the dismemberment tools. You're right, Siobai's theory was acceptable, but not being able to explain 3 hours is a bit weird. Then the dismemberment process was already done by 12:54? But doesn't that leave too much time until we find the corpse? Listen carefully, I'll explain everything. 12:54, Iroha kept all the corpse piece into one place before leaving the pool. Later, at 17:24, she used her handbook to in herself to bring the corpse pieces out. She stayed 5 hours in there? And 1 minute later, 17:55, she used Setsuka's handbook to leave the pool. That doesn't work. Setsuka enters, Nijia enters, kill Setsuka, Nijia leaves, Nijia enters, Nijia leaves, Nijia enters. Okay, no, it makes sense, Okay, sure. We cannot perfectly explain the gate records of the pool by this logic. Yeah. I see, so it was possible to break the records even without an accomplice. I guess it would have been for the culprit to create no out records to avoid any suspicion from the pool, but both mine and Siobai's theory has limitations in that regard. I guess there was a reason for the culprit to do so. Really? Did Iroha actually? Wait, I'm really not the culprit. I never heard of any of this. Shut up, I'm not done with my theory. Now the next part, Iroha, who has successfully finished her job at the pool, moves the corpse pieces to Block C monorail station. Later, she herself runs to Block A. But isn't that the same as Siobai's theory? Wait, just a bit on that. Now's the important part. After Iroha arrives at Block A, she needs to enter the ghost house at 17:55. Here, it doesn't really matter that much whether she uses her handbooks or Setsuka's, but it was probably better to use her own. I'll explain this a bit later. As I said before, she goes inside to cut the wires of the ghost house fuse box, and she uses Setsuka's handbook to leave. Okay? Sure. Wait, what the hell are you on about now? That's exactly what you said was impossible when I brought it up. Setsuka's hand is at the monorail station of Block C. How are you going to turn her handbook on? I was going to ask that too, but I guess he was faster. The theory you're trying to propose just substituted the culprit from you to Bubblehead. With everything else, you're basically saying the same stuff. Honestly, can you even hear yourself? You just have to carry the hands, right? But kinda, didn't you yourself say that was impossible? It would be impossible for Sis, but definitely possible with Iroha. Iroha actually has a pretty handy tool to hide the hands. And what's that? Her hat. What? Both Sis and I have no ideal space to carry the hands without being seen. The pockets are too small to shove the hands in. That's a really funny image. And if we tried to hide it with our clothes, it would stick out and seem unnatural. You need to both not be seen and also be able to pull it out whenever needed. This is a case where every minute and second matters. The hand must have been readily available whenever the situation called for it. And you're suggesting that the hiding place was Uroa's hat? If you put the severed hands on your head and put the hat on top, you would hold it in place and it wouldn't seem unnatural. Not only that, but you could also pull it out whenever you wanted to throw the handbook on, so it matches every condition I've just mentioned. And technically speaking, Uroa's hat isn't a tool, but an attire she always wears. She wouldn't cause any suspicion as well. So basically, she put the hands on top of her head. Huh. Why would I do such a horrible thing? And the ones who entered the ghost house was Hibiki, not me. I saw it with my own eyes. That's exactly why I'm suspecting you, Uroa. If you perhaps lied about seeing my sister, you have no alibi. But I'm not the one. Hibiki, tell her the truth. I don't know. I can remember. Siobai, is there anything left bothering you? I'll take that as a no. Then let's continue. Uroa causes a blackout at the ghost house, then moves to the Block A monorail station. When the monorail resumes its operations at 6, she rides it back to Block C to move the corpse. Dude, that part is that part is the same as Siobai's theory. This is the important part. Uroa must have hid the body parts near the ghost house. The place that I suspect is the small park in front of the ghost house, perhaps in one of the bushes there. Wait, but then we're stuck at the same place as before. You guys just Block A, so if somebody had hidden that kind of stuff. Yes, that's why I'm suspecting Uroa. Was it Uroa who investigated the park area? Siobai said it just now, didn't he? All the culprit had to do is hide the corpse in the place they were supposed to investigate. While I was unable to do so because I investigated the place furthest away from the ghost house, the park that the Uroa investigated was right across the ghost house. In terms of distance, she'd have no problems. She just pretended to investigate and she lied about there being nothing, just like Siobai said. Liar, liar, pants on fire! Exactly what part am I not making sense to you? But it was you who told me to investigate the park area. How was I supposed to know beforehand that you would assign me to that place? I see, that was my bad, but I had no idea that you were the filthy culprit back then. However, even if I told you to investigate some other place, wouldn't you have volunteered to investigate the park? What? Anyway, Sora investigated near the ghost house, so the only option left for you was probably the park, so that's why you chose that place. It was a pretty smart act considering it was coming from Uroa. You deserve some praise. No, I said I'm not the culprit. After that, well, you all know the drill, right? She hid the corpse and came back to us. And pretended to join in our investigation, and carries the corpse from the park to the ghost house, when Sora leaves this place. This was around 1942, since the last time she used the ghost house gate, she used Setsuka's handbook. She used her own handbook to enter the ghost house. Okay. That way she'd be able to create an ID from around 1750 without an out record. Also, from here on out, speed is key. As such, since it'll be difficult to use Setsuka's handbook, so she would have used her own handbook for convenience. This is why I told you before that Uroa would have used her own handbook first. This is so fucking complicated. After entering, Uroa prepares the final step to her plan. She puts the body part on the altar. I love this, by the way. I'm not saying this is bad. I fucking love this. She puts the body parts on the altars, uses the blood packs to create a bloody mess, then hides behind the sliding screen near the entrance. After the body announcement, she pretends like she just entered the place, and voila! From corpse moving to false alibi to false evidence, she did it all by herself. Uroa, no, I told you I'm not the culprit. Yeah, if seeing Hibiki entering the ghost house was a lie. The hairpin, how can you explain the hairpin from the ghost house? You obviously just told him beforehand. Sister was clearly not herself after the motive reveal yesterday night. Even a toddler would have been able to take it from her. When did I ever have a chance to steal that? You were the one who told us that Hibiki refused to come out of her room this morning. That was still this morning. I have no idea of where she was and what she did afterwards. I only met her again after we found the corpse. Or do you have any proof that you didn't meet my sister in that time? Well, that I can't, I'm not trying to blame you or anything, but didn't you arrive late after the body announcement? The body was found in Block A, yet you arrived even later than Yuriko and Nikkei, who were in Block C. Why is that, I wonder? But that's because I was the only one who didn't receive Setsuka's message. You told me later that you received a weird message, right? Yuriko was heading towards the ghost house anyways because of that message. That is true, but based on our observation so far, the message was sent by the culprit as well, right? What? Sure, all messages from Setsuka's today were sent by the culprit. That is all the more reason that the culprit needed to carry Setsuka's hand at all times. As I said before, the only person capable of easily transporting Setsuka's hands is Uroa. Well, this is... So Uroa really did? Siobai, I'd like to know your thoughts on this. The theory itself has no contradictions, but the fact that the bubblehead girl thought of a trick this high level, that itself could be considered a contradiction. Yeah, I agree. He's right. How could someone as stupid as me think of a murder this complicated? You're saying that about yourself? Well, she could have been acting all this time, a wolf in sheep's clothing, if you will. That's not true. I'm innocent. Please believe me. If you claim that you're not the culprit, then where's your rebuttal? This is literally the same situation that we put my sis in. Tell me, what's the difference between you going on about your innocence without any logic to back it up and sis bawling her eyes out? Illogical nonsense! You're asking to be executed! It seems like Hiro's backed into a corner. Yeah, Kanade just being normal. Is she really the culprit? Kanade and Shobai did most of their reasoning, and there doesn't seem like there are any contradictions. I guess they're right. Silence from both the attacking team and the defenders. Have you come to a conclusion? I'm sure you're all aware since this is a third-class trial, but you cannot take back your decision. Now then, everyone, vote for the culprit of the switch in front of you. Will that answer be the truth or not? Fufu? Now vote! Objection! What? Interrupting the voting again? What is it, Mikado? Something was bothering me all this time, and I finally know what that is. I'm not trying to side with Iroha, but I saw something back then. So what? According to Kanade's theory, Iroha should have dismembered the corpse between 9:44 and 12:54. Correct? But I saw Iroha goofing around painting pictures near the harbor around 11. What? Oh yeah, I was drawing pictures of the port at that time. Wait, why weren't you investigating? Well, I thought it would raise my spirit. That isn't the important part. If Iroha was at the port around that time, that means Kanade's theory is completely wrong. Mikado, I take back every bad thing I've said about you. Thank you for helping me. I most certainly didn't do it for you. Now that it's come to this, we're back to square one once again. My, what a troublesome situation. Wait, can we even believe this guy? What's wrong, bro? I mean, how can we tell if that's true or not, when it's Mikado of all people? Mikado's always meddled with us, so this time he might be trying to stop us from getting the answer right. Dude, Kanade fucking deserves to kill all of us at this point. She does not deserve to lose this trial. Excuse me, why would I lie if I'm not getting the answer right also cost my life? How should I know? Maybe you're buying all this and did to survive on your own. After all, you're the one who gave us those motive videos, right? Shinji's right. You're seriously saying that after all you've done so far? What makes you think you have the right to speak? Don't speak some nonsense. Iroha was definitely at the pool at that time. I'm sorry, but I also can't believe his words that easily. If it wasn't for his testimony, Kanade's theory is perfect. But he doesn't gain anything by lying out of this. If it was anyone else, Shobai even, I would have at least tried to believe it. But Mikado? Am I that untrustworthy? Of course you're the this is going to be a scrum debate. Of course you're the mastermind, for crying out loud. Technically speaking, you're the reason we're doing this class trial in the first place. Just this once, please believe Mikado. No, please believe in me. I really am innocent. I would rather place my trust on dog's droppings than on him. How cruel of you all. At least take this seriously. Is Iroha really the culprit? Iroha does seem like she's telling the truth. Of course, it could be her acting. Mikado is saying that he saw Iroha in the morning. I should think of something as well. Think of any information regarding Iroha. That could be the missing key to solving whether or not Iroha is the blackened. Oh, logic craft. No, I'm good. Okay, this time I'm going to be falling because I don't have Yuri's skill. Okay, this is way harder. There's like a delay. Dude, the delay is so bad, Jesus. That didn't hit me? Okay. Dude. Fuck. Okay, I want Yuri's skills back. Oh my god, this is actually hard. I didn't expect this to be hard. Before the parade, when was the last time we met Iroha? During breakfast. Oh, the sleeping pill. Right. So did Kanade put the sleeping pill in Iroha's thing specifically so she wouldn't have an alibi? Did she think that far ahead? That's fucking insane if that's it. Oh, okay. Fuck me, I guess. Wow, that's really fair. Cool, man. That's really fair. What the fuck? How was I supposed to know that? Oh, the arrow. I see. I just thought. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. There was an X pointing. Okay, I get it. I didn't realize I needed to be paying attention like that. Dude, I don't want to die. Okay, I'm definitely equipping Yuri's skill from now on. What did we do with Yura during breakfast? Drank her coffee. Dude, the input delay is so bad. There wasn't an input delay when I had Yuri's skill. At least the hitboxes are janked, that's fine. Can graze. What happened after we drank Hero's coffee? We passed out. Turned Super Saiyan. Wakarimashita. Wait, everyone. What's wrong, Sora? This just came to me, and it doesn't have anything to do with Mikado. But Iroha may not be the culprit. Wow, Sora, thank you. Well, what's up with you? Actually, something very suspicious happened this morning. After breakfast, I was going to start my investigation when a sudden wave of irresistible sleep came over me. I told you about the reason I was late for the parade, remember? Oh, I do. You suddenly felt sleepy, and when you woke up, it was the evening, right? But it's not like you were awake all night, right? And you slept through all afternoon, even when you drank coffee for breakfast. That's exactly it. I saw Iroha wasn't drinking her coffee during breakfast. I thought it was a waste, and naturally, being a fan of coffee, I drank her coffee instead. I was okay up until then, but after that, I felt incredibly sleepy, like as if I was drugged. It was an unnatural wave of sleep. You did? So what are you trying to say? Someone drugged the coffee with sleeping pills? Exactly. What? Now listen carefully. The coffee that I drank was meant for Iroha, right? What would have happened if Iroha instead drank the coffee? Well, Iroha would have slept till evening. Then that would mean that Iroha wouldn't have any alibi from morning till evening, right? Dude, Kanade thought this far ahead. She was gonna blame her sister, but she had a secondary fucking secondary red herring. Like, dude, Kanade deserves to get out of here. She deserves to win this. She would have won if we didn't randomly drink Iroha's coffee. Wait, so someone tried to use sleeping drugs to prevent Iroha from having an alibi? Sorry for interrupting this, but was there anything like sleeping drugs on this island? There are some at the pharmacy section at the mart. I always check all the items there, but I didn't notice a difference in number. You open the packages and check inside? Well, I can't. It would take forever if I did that every day. For a cup of coffee, one pill should be enough. You probably didn't need to take the whole package. Anyways, let me get this straight. You drank a cup of coffee that was drugged with sleeping pills. But why would someone prevent Iroha from having an alibi? What would they gain from that? Wait, I know. There's someone who would benefit from all this. Someone was trying to frame Iroha by preventing any alibis. Right, if Iroha's the culprit, it doesn't make sense that the coffee she was trying to drink was drugged. Iroha's not the culprit. The culprit was the person who was trying to make Iroha drink the coffee. What if Sora drank the coffee that was originally intended for Iroha, and Iroha being outside during morning was something unexpected even for the culprit, right? That's right, so Mikado's account of seeing Iroha around 11 is something entirely possible. How can you not believe me? I'm so disappointed in all of you. Hold on, if Iroha's not the culprit, then the real Blackend is something that just came to me. But if we use this info and reverse the thought process, we can easily track down the culprit. The culprit's identity. The culprit is someone who's drugged Iroha's coffee. The culprit is someone who's trying to frame Iroha by erasing her alibi. Someone who's trying to frame her just now. Okay, I know. Gonna be sad to see you go. The culprit was someone who was pressing on Iroha just until now. Kanade Otonokoji, it's you. Wait, hold on. I thought little sis explained to us how she couldn't be the culprit. I'm grateful that you proved my innocence, but Kanade being the culprit? That being said, Kanade did act weird during breakfast. Usually she would have chased after her sis right away when Hibiki left. But didn't she hesitate a bit? Sis, I'm going to take a rest in my room. That's true. Wait, sis, where are you going? You haven't even finished your breakfast. Hibiki's condition seems to be getting worse. Come to think of it, she broke down the most out of everyone yesterday. She became very dependable after Emma's case, but she seems to have reverted back to her old self. Well, we can't help it. It seems like everyone except Aurora has finished their meal, so let's get moving. Kinda, you stay at Biki's side for now. What? But you don't have to mind us. She's your family, right? You should be there for her. Go on. Alright then. Because she wanted to make sure Aurora actually drank her coffee. Dude, Kanade got so fucking unlucky. Like, she got unbelievably... I guess it's Yuki's luck working to not make him die. She got so unlucky. She definitely should have killed all of us. She reluctantly followed once Setsuka told her to. I assumed that is to make sure Aurora drank her coffee or not. Unfortunately, unbeknownst to Kanade, it was Sora who actually drank her coffee. If Kanade really is the culprit, and considering her personality, she would have made sure that Aurora did in fact drink the sleeping pills. But how is that possible? Just how unlucky can you get? Well, aren't all matters like that? Something that shouldn't have happened somehow did, while something that shouldn't doesn't happen at all. Bullshit. What? Seobai and not you? What is it with you people trying to frame me as the culprit? I shared my theory, showed you the contradictions, and through my reasoning proved that Aurora is the culprit. Just how much rebuttal would it take for you to be satisfied? But Sora has a point. If Aurora had fallen asleep with that drug, she would have been confirmed as the culprit without a doubt. Sigh, really? Do we have to take the long way? Oh, alright, fine, I'll show you. First, the fact that the coffee was drugged is stretched. It's not like I was the person who prepared the meal. How could I have drugged the coffee that Mikado had prepared? It isn't impossible. Hiro would know just how quick Mikado prepares our meals. Oh yeah, Sora and I arrived early in the morning for breakfast a few days ago, and the meal was prepared even before the morning announcement. Oh yes, I do! You know what they say, the early chef dominates the culinary world. Do they say that? I prepare the food way in advance before you even wake up. You heard him, so if you just arrive at the diner before everyone else wakes up, you would have ample time to drug Aurora's coffee. But you wouldn't really know where Aurora will actually sit, would you? That probably isn't the case because I usually sit at the same place. In fact, most of us usually sit at the same place every morning, don't we? True, unless the seat's owner died and someone sat there instead, that was usually it. After hearing what you lot have to say, things start to make sense. 3 hours of space between 9:44 and 12:54. That was time deliberately left blank by that girl to frame Bubblehead. Dude, that she actually thought like 100 steps ahead. Like, this is some 200 IQ shit. So that you can say it was time Bubblehead spent on dismemberment. But just how unlucky can you get? The Bubblehead was actually seen by Mikado Sonoji. By the irony of fate. Didn't Aurora just mention that it was Kanade who assigned to look around the park near the ghost house? Come to think of it, perhaps that was also something she did in advance to frame Aurora. That's not all. Aurora was invited to the chat room that was created from Setsuka's handbook. They probably separately told Aurora to come to the Mirror Mansion so that Aurora could see Hibiki entering the ghost house, and later claimed that Aurora was lying, making everyone suspect her. Told you, the culprit is Kanade Otonokoji. Obviously that Bubblehead can come up with a trick of this level. He's making fun of me, isn't he? Hold on, this trial is a bit tough. The culprit keeps changing, I don't know who's telling the truth or not. One thing is for sure. Sora consuming the sleeping pills and Mikado witnessing Aurora can't be coincidences. And the one who orchestrated that was Kanade. So Kanade really is the culprit? Kanade. Okay, yes, yep, yeah, alright, sure. Kanade? Yeah, it seems like you use your damn stupid brains to reach a conclusion. As you said, I don't have any logical rebuttal against this. As all of this is just a presumption, I have no evidence against this, yes? But being the generous and merciful, I will go over your stupid delusions. Yes, suppose I did drug your rose coffee, yes? Then how about we go back to when Seobai was suspecting me as the culprit, yes? Yes, try to deduce things in the proposition that I am the culprit, yes? Just how did I murder Setsuka? Quite an unsolvable mystery, yes? Yes, why isn't anyone answering, yes? Yes, come on, answer me, yes. Well, oh my god, what the fuck is that spread? I who cannot carry the ends, I who cannot hide the corpse near the ghost house. I who was with you all throughout the entire parade. Explain to me how the hell did I manage to kill Setsuka despite all these alibis and move the damn corpse? Anyone? Yes? Seobai, Sora, Yuki, anyone? Come on, let's hear it. Kanade, you're scaring me. Oh my dear sis, relax, there's no way that I'm the culprit. You're not the culprit either, we're completely innocent, so there's nothing to worry about. I'll solve everything for you, I will. Nobody spoke another word. Was it because we're intimidated by the sheer insanity of Kanade? Partly that, but Kanade wasn't just raising upon us without any logic. It was completely different from the breakdowns of all the other culprits. There were simply just too many contradictions to point her as the culprit. Even if she really was the culprit, her defense against the truth was too hard for us to break. My, can't get your tongue? Everyone, try to focus. Maybe we all missed some sort of clue. I don't want to die just as much as you guys, so let's start this over again. Now, let's put our heads together on this. It's impossible. There are too many contradictions if we assume Kanade is the culprit. Maybe Kanade really isn't the culprit, and of course, me too. Wait, what about the deal with the sleeping pills? If Kanade wasn't the one who drugged the coffee, then who was it? I honestly think it's possible that Sora could have lied about this. We only have Sora's words to back it up, right? But if Sora was lying, there goes my account's credibility again. As if he had any credibility to begin with. But that isn't the only thing that makes Kanade suspicious. Not to mention that Kanade didn't outright deny the fact about the sleeping pills. I have no idea what's going on and who's right or wrong. Siobai, any ideas? I thought you saw me as shit, now you're running back to me because you're out of ideas? Well, the main problem is how the culprit was able to move the corpse to the ghost house. The dolls. If we think about the whole timeline, the concept of hiding the corpse in Block A is entirely impossible. So they must have used the monorails, but we missed something here. Something. Oh, I got it. I know the culprit. It's Mikado. Mikado used magic to teleport the corpse inside the ghost house. He keeps talking about the school rules preventing him from using magic, but who knows if that rule is actually fake? Might I kindly ask, what the actual fuck? Or maybe there was a secret passage that they used to transport the corpse. Maybe it's best that you stay quiet. Yeah, don't lose your focus. That's not a theory. That's just your delusions. But I can understand where she's coming from. There really is no logical way that this could have happened. Teleported inside. Secret passageway. The ghost house was shaped like... Siobai? I got it. Oh, the chimney? What didn't I think of? I'm so stupid. Why didn't I think of that? The chimney. I'm so stupid. There is a way that Kanade Otonokoji can move the corpse. Really? What is it? The problem is solved if you can move the corpse into the ghost house without using the gates. And there's one passageway in the ghost house that matches this condition. And where's that? A passageway in the ghost house that connects to the outside other than the gates? Yes, perhaps there's that one thing inside the ghost house. If we could pinpoint that. I can't believe I didn't think of this. The chimney. What? Siobai, are you perhaps referring to the chimney? There's a fireplace at the ghost house. If there's a fireplace, then that means there was a chimney that connects it to the outside. Bingo. If you threw the corpse through the chimney, the corpse would get thrown down to the fireplace. If the fire was put out, it wouldn't stand out and would be near the altar as well. Ahead the chimney, you're kidding me, right? What an astounding turn of events. By throwing the corpse into the chimney during the parade, you don't have to hide them beforehand. You can enter empty-handed at 1942 after the white-haired girl leaves the ghost house. The corpse is already in the fireplace, so you just have to move them to the altar and flood the place with the blood packs. Just in case, did you search the fireplace when you were investigating the ghost house? No, I didn't think that Setsuko was dead at that time, so I investigated a place that a living human being could naturally be. Not to mention that it was especially dark near the fireplace. Alright, so no contradictions there. How's this, twins? A new challenge for you. Let's see you sing and dance around this one. This is so fucking good, man. I've had like a big smile on my face for so long. A plastic bag. The culprit threw the corpse inside through the chimney. But is that actually possible? Nope, it's absolute nonsense. There weren't any clues left in the fireplace. Okay, well. I keep saying this. Dude. Like, if Yuki wasn't here, if we didn't have his luck, 100 times out of 100, Kanade escapes his trial. Like, there is no way we should have exposed her. She got so unbelievably unlucky. Wait a second, about the fireplace. There was a suspicious black plastic bag near the fireplace. I'm not sure what that could be, but I'm positive it wasn't there from the start. Plastic bar near the fireplace? What's the deal with that? If we deduce it based on Seobai's theory, the bag would probably be the one that contains the body parts. Eek! The fireplace was always lit, at least until the culprit turned it off. If that bag was there before, it would have long burnt away. So the bag was put there after the fire was put off. In other words, the day of the crime. There's no other evidence that threw the corpse through the chimney. The ghost house is pretty higher than you think. If the corpse fell through that high of an eye, that's why the body was bruised and the bones were broken. There must be some traces left in the body. Traces left on the body. If the culprit threw the corpse onto a place that high, the corpse would definitely have some traces on it. And that evidence is... You're talking about the bruises on the corpse, right, Seobai? You bet. Bruises? While Setsuko's body was cut into pieces, each piece had some traces of bruises. It even said so in the monocle file. If the body fell straight through the roof like Seobai said, it would be natural that there would be a few broken bones here and there. Conversely, there would be no explanation for those bruises if it didn't fall through the chimney. Their murder weapon was something sharp, so it's highly unlikely that those bruises would have occurred otherwise. What nonsense are you on about the chimney? You guys said it yourself, the ghost house is pretty tall. Considering the inclination of building, it would be impossible to even climb up the damn thing. So how would someone manage that? I honestly have to agree. After all, the ghost house is the tallest building out of everything in Block A. There's no other place taller than the ghost house. Then how would you manage to throw something onto the top of it? There is one place you can reach higher than the ghost house. What? Some place aforementioned in my theory. The monorail. The monorails go right past the ghost house roof. Are you seriously suggesting that they threw the corpse while riding on the monorail? No, I'm not suggesting it. It's the only possible way. Haha. I'm sorry, but this isn't a fantasy world, or would you like me to get you incarnated in another world? Yeah, about that. I have someone otherworldly right next to me. I'm not a fantasy creature. Treating me in such a way is cruel, insensitive act that ignores everything I've done so far. Not to be that guy here, but I think it's impossible too. The monorail is pretty slow, granted, but it is still a moving device. If they miss the shot, all will go to waste. Cause the darts! Because she can throw the darts! And she threw the basketball from the top of the school. Oh my god! This is cinema. This is absolute cinema. Oh my, this is Kino. Oh my god. Cause she threw the basketball and the darts. Would they risk that kind of a shot on a moving platform? Throw the corpse at the chimney when the monorail goes past it? Is this truly possible for a human being and a high schooler of all people? If there's any proof that this was possible for Kanade, then Seobai's theory would be basically confirmed. Let's trace our memories back. Let's recall any memory related to Kanade's physical abilities. Wait, I don't need the flashback. I'm good. Dude, this is so fucking good. I never thought that was gonna be fucking foreshadowing. This feels like a fucking case 5, but this is just case 3. I don't know what this is. What? I don't know what you want from me. Keys what? I don't get it. What? Yuki? Couldn't you have just had it spelled darts? I need to wait for the time to pass. I wasn't paying attention to... I'm just wasting life. I'll just stop. I mean, I don't know what he wants from me. Not that. I wasn't paying attention. I don't actually know what I want here. I mean, there's a B. I don't know what this is spelling. Am I stupid? How darts? This isn't spelling darts. Oto no... What's her family name? Oto no Koji? No, that's not what it's spelling. Whose name ends in Ki? Except Yuki. Yuki is the only one that ends in Ki, so it's not spelling Yuki. Remake? There's no Y. Dude, I don't know. I don't know what you want from me. Okay, I'm taking a screenshot. I'm gonna fail it. I'm gonna take a screenshot so I can actually look at it. I'm cheating. Don't care. A little bit of Cheeto. Don't mind if I do. Alright, what fucking word do you want? Dude, I can't. I'm looking at all the letters. I can't even tell what it wants me to spell. Is this an ESL moment? Is it gonna be a word I don't know? I mean, I'll just try shit. I'm gonna run out of time again. Okay, I can pause the game by clicking outside the window. Kind of cheating, but I don't care. Okay, let's try this. Okay. I still don't know what this is spelling. Hideki? Biki? Hibiki is remade? What? No? Ibiki is it's not remake. What? Dude, I'm losing my mind. Oh, I'm stupid. Okay, editor. It's not a remark? What? Oh wait, because my screenshot was old because the letter switched. Okay, I'm stupid. Okay, it's Ibiki's remark. Okay, editor, cut the entire part. I don't. This can't end up in the final video. This is embarrassing. Okay, I got it. I for some reason I didn't notice that Hibiki's name ended in Ki. Fuck, that was not the. Where's the B? Oh my god, I have to wait fucking 50 seconds again. Ah! I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, man. It's Hibiki's remark. Okay, sure. I don't know why that was so hard for me. Okay, to be fair though, I think that should just say darts or something, or basketball, or... So, how's everyone's day? How has everyone's day been? You guys have a good day, or hard at work, or chilling at home, or... And politics been crazy lately, huh? Okay, I'm looking for B. Okay, B is there. I didn't find the other arcade, dude. Oh my god. I need to wait again. What? Because it's a capital B, it doesn't count? That's... what? Really? Okay, I'm taking a screenshot again. Wait, is that why... because capitals matter? They're all capital. Wait, what didn't that work? Okay, I took the screenshot. I can't tell if I'm being stupid. Okay, he... B... Key's remark. Okay. We did it, guys. It only took like 10 minutes. Whole 10 points. Incredible. I lost like half my HP as well. Oh yeah, there is proof. It might have been possible to throw their corpse into the chimney for Kanade. What, really? Hibiki. Hibiki, listen to me. Huh? What? You told me on the first day on the third album at the casino, remember? The Kanade's accuracy is impeccable. She always hits her target. At one time, she even scored a goal from the school rooftop onto the sports ground basketball rim. Yeah, I remember. Is that even possible? Wait, if it is... yeah, throwing a corpse into the chimney while on a monorail should be a piece of cake. Okay, but it's not just a corpse. There's like 10 different parts. Like, I knew she can't miss a single one. I knew Kanade had such an ability. Is that really true, Hibiki? Well, it's true. Kanade, as always. Shut up, Hibiki. Eek. You should have just kept quiet. What are you getting flustered for? Your reactions just gave credibility to what your sis said. Come to think of it, Kanade looked a little flustered with that remark. At that time, I thought it was because she couldn't keep up with Hibiki's pace. But thinking back now, she might have already thought of this plan way back then. Way back then? That was a few days ago. Yeah, before the motive. She was already planning to murder someone even then? That would mean that Kanade thought of this trick as soon as she understood the structure of Satsuki Land. Fufu, aren't you the scary type? If that's true, then it's actually possible for Kanade to commit the murder. Actually, the only one who has those abilities amongst us is Kanade. So the murder would be impossible for anyone other than Kanade. Kanade. Stupid sis. Well, sure, I'll let that pass. It doesn't matter, really. Even if I had used that method to move the corpse inside the ghost house, the monorail was active during 18 to 19, the only time possible for the culprit to throw the corpse. But have you all forgotten? That time was when the parade was going on. Oh, that's right. Come to think of it, Kanade watched the parade with us. So it wouldn't make sense for her to also be on the monorail throwing corpses at that time. We ourselves are the witnesses. Wait, that means we're stuck again? Did Tsuyobai make another mistake? Wait, but Miss Little Sis denied the chimney theory. To be honest, the reaction she just showed wasn't something from a totally innocent person. I think she could have ridden the monorail back and forth while we were investigating, or while we were supposed to investigate. Yeah, because it works perfectly because the one that goes from B to C to A is 5 minutes faster, so she can ride the monorail from C to A and then immediately take another one from A to C. Yeah, it works. That's definitely what she did. I just didn't feel the need to object every single detail. I have an alibi after all. It seems like we've hit yet another roadblock. If you're gonna act like that, two can play at that game. Everything would make sense if she was able to ride the monorail at that time, right? I told you, I was watching the parade. The others there are all witnesses. But was that really you? Oh, that's what we're saying. Okay. The hairpins, yeah. Okay. No, sorry. The monorail wasn't activated during the search. Sorry. My bad. I'm waffling. Okay, I did think about this, but it didn't seem to make sense. What do you mean? Stupid shits, you got fooled last time. This is literally the same trick, dickheads. Last time, you mean when Emma disguised herself as Kokoro? That's right, Bubblehead. Don't you all get it by now? Recall who I suspected as an accomplice when Kanade Otonokoji. It can't be. Hibiki disguised herself as Kanade? But her boobs were bigger and she was fatter. What? No, wait, it isn't entirely impossible. It actually makes sense. Hibiki and Kanade are identical twins, a bit of disguise, and no one will be able to tell them apart. Hibiki doesn't have an alibi today, so if she was disguised as Kanade, then the person without an alibi throughout the day was actually Kanade. We should double check just in case. Has anyone seen Hibiki even once after morning? Dude, if you go back at the beginning of the last episode, I did bring this up as a possibility, briefly, but I discarded it. Nobody? I hope that you're not just ignoring me this time. The case had already started this morning. Of course, no one has seen them. They basically switched their alibis to disguise. The first time we saw Kanade was after breakfast was during the parade. So the Kanade we met there was probably Hibiki. The real Kanade was riding the monorails, moving the corpse. Admitted, Kanade Otonokoji, you're not just some ordinary high schooler. You're smart, cunning, and careful, even more so than me. Beats me why such a talented girl is in the band for some reason. But you let your guard down. Sure, you put up a pretty high wall, but you've left some holes here and there. Well, my turn is over. It's yours now. Any rebuttals? I haven't had such a battles like that in ages. It was honestly a bit fun. Fucking Goku over here. Though it hurts my pride that I had to get some help from the likes of you along the way. So you're admitting that? I thought that you would try to take all the credit. I told you, I'm a calculative guy. We all die a happy death if I make a mistake while I stubbornly press on with my theory. It's much more efficient to give up on your pride and put your brains together in these cases. To think that you'd be on the same wavelength as us. I think this is the first time you've spoken this much. But it doesn't change the fact that you all were hopeless as shit until I took over the stage. You had to rub it in. Haha, haha. Kanade? So let me get this straight. The one watching the parade was actually Sis, and I was actually on the monorail, yes? And while the monorail went past the ghost house, I threw the corpse into the chimney. Congratulations, you've gotten everything wrong. Another rebuttal? Please, would you give me a break? You're definitely the culprit here. If you lack the brains to think, then don't talk at all. People like you are the reason the term trash journalism exists. Why did you just... Finally, someone who knows how to put up a real fight. Come at me. Now, I'm going to start with the throwing corpse part and go through everything from there. Setsuka dismembered body consisted of the head, the torso, each hands, arms, legs, and the feet. So 10 pieces altogether. Now here's a simple question. How many times does the monorail go past the ghost house during its 1 hour run? What? You're not seriously suggesting that I threw all 10 pieces at once in one go, are you? The monorail is quite slow, but it's still as fast as a speeding bike. To summarize, you can only throw one piece at a time each time you go past the ghost house. According to Seobai's theory, the culprit starts off at block C to ride their one heading to block A, right? Then throw their first piece here, and after 15 minutes, when it takes a round trip, they throw the next one. They throw each piece at each round trips at the 30, 45, 60 minute mark. Wait, who would have guessed it? Our precious hour has already passed 4 round trips, and the monorail isn't active for the next hour. What are we to do with the remaining 6 pieces? How are we to explain this? Well, she definitely makes a point. The idea of throwing a corpse into the chimney was remarkable, but the number of throws needed was far too much. They have a much bigger problem at hand, really. Throwing a corpse inside the chimney is actually impossible for a different reason. Sure, the legs, hands, and feet are small enough to fit inside the passageway. And the head, well, she did have a relatively small head, so let's let that pass. Okay, sorry. But what about the torso? Do you really think that her torso would be able to fit inside that small of a chimney? This is not possible? Her torso is missing an abdomen, right? Then wouldn't it fit without it? You can break the joints to fit any other pieces of the body, but you can't do so with the body. Not to mention that her chest was particularly larger than anyone else's. That part would surely get stuck halfway through. Her boobs are too big. So you're gonna play that card, huh? Then you can just move the torso separately, you know, through the gates as normal. But how? The reason we're talking about this damn chimney theory is because of passing through the gates is practically impossible, remember? If you want to prove this theory, you need to be able to move each and every body part through the chimney. But for whatever reason we try Kanade, she vigorously defends back. If we can't penetrate through this defense, we won't be able to accuse her as the culprit. As Seobai admitted, he can't win against Kanade alone. Let's think through this together. Okay, this is where the doll comes in. Okay. Dude, this... I was gonna say it after the trial ends. This is the best trial in any of these games, including the mainline games. This is so fucking good. The torso does not fit in the chimney. True. In other words, you would need to move the torso in a different way. Of course, such a way doesn't exist. You could have just taken the torso separately. While Kane is busy trading courses, Hibiki moves to the ghost house with the torso. Impossible! I was watching the parade then. Even if that was Sis in disguise, at least one of us needs to watch that parade. But then by that logic, who is the person that watched the parade? What if I couldn't read that? Impossible, you can only throw 4 pieces total. There are 6 pieces excluding the torso, so there's too much risk. And we're out of any options. If there exclude the chimney theory, there are no other ways to move the torso. No, kinda, there is a way to move the torso without throwing it into the chimney. Moreover, by doing this, you could also move the torso from block C to A without getting caught. Does such a way really exist? Impossible, there is no such way. Well, there is, it's by using the parade dolls. But parade dolls? This was just a spark of an idea, but the dolls move on their own and they're empty inside. So if you put the torso inside the dolls of the storehouse to block C before the parade, the torso will automatically get sent with the parade without gathering suspicion. I'm impressed, Whitey. You can't call me that. that was what I was going to say. In addition to what she said, the torso would inevitably arrive at Block A storehouse after the parade, which was exactly the place Kanade Otonokoji was supposed to investigate during your search. Oh, so she had a way of retrieving it back. Then the torso was hiding inside the storehouse, and in the 6-minute gap between 1936 when Sora left and 1942, she went inside the ghost house during this time to retrieve the torso. Yeah, in addition to that, Hibiki Otonokoji was probably hiding in the storehouse as well. When the white hair gang started to search Block A, that girl headed straight to the storehouse and switched places with the real Kanade Otonokoji. After that, the litter shit confirms that Albino left the ghost house and signals this to her sis using the handbook. And the little shit who is standing by with the— this is so insane. The little shit who is standing by with the torso in the storehouse heads straight to the ghost house. Meanwhile, the little shit returns to the white hair gang. We previously thought that 6 minutes would be too short of a time to move the corpse between the storehouse and the ghost house. However, that was because we considered moving all the body pieces. If it was just the torso, it would have definitely been possible. Amazing, Sora. And so what? As previously mentioned, the monorail only passes through the ghost house 4 times in the span of an hour. We have 5 more body pieces to take care of, even excluding the torso. How are we to move these? Well, yeah, watch your crap about the monorails. You mean 7 times, not 4, you little lying shit. What? How come? It takes 15, because the one is 5 minutes delayed. It takes 15 minutes for a round trip, and the monorail becomes inactive after 1 hour. There are 2 different kinds of monorail, one for each direction. To go past the ghost house, you need to take the track between block A and C. Simply said, if you transfer between the 2 over and over. Simply said, if you transfer between the 2 monorails to ride only the track between block A and C, there's no need for a full round trip. What? Wait, how did the order in the direction of the monorails go again? Hold on a sec, I had it written down just in case. There it is. Here it is. Every other hour, the monorail starts at block B and goes along the path of B, A, C, and 5 minutes later, another monorail takes its departure towards the other direction. Yep. Hold on, so if we draw out the timetable, so she takes the train from B to C, and then, no, she takes the train from A to C, and then to C to A, A to C, C to A, over and over and over again, and it just lines up perfectly. Quit wasting my time. Here, give me that, I'll draw it for you. Yeah. Now you get what I mean? The focal point here is starting from 18. The culprit was standing by with the corpse at the Block C station. When the train heading to Block A at 1810, she rides this to Block A. She will go past the ghost house for the first time, and she throws one of the pieces here. 1 down. She arrives at Block A at 1815, and waits 5 minutes on the platform for the train heading the opposite direction. When the train eventually arrives, she rises back to Block C. During that time, she passes through the ghost house again, 2 down. Block C again at 1825, but this time the train she'll transfer has already arrived. She transfers right away to head Block A. 3 down. If you repeat this process, yeah, it goes over and over, back and forth. Well, do I need to go any further? You all got it by now, right? He's right. Using this method, you can go past the ghost house a total of 7 times. And the last room arrives at Block A at exactly 19. Perhaps Kanade even took this into account when choosing the crime scene. I see, I made a mistake. So it seems like you would be able to throw 7 corpse pieces through this chimney. But what difference does it make? Even with the torso carried by the parade doll, that still leaves 2 remaining body pieces. Quite a mystery, yes? What happened to those 2 pieces? Yes, just how did I move them, yes? Answer me! Can't you fit the 2 pieces with the torso inside the parade dolls? Even if the storehouse is a bit far away, I'm sure 6 minutes is enough to manage 2 additional body pieces. I doubt it. Her torso is quite large and heavy after all. What about the small parts of the body like hands and feet? They seem pretty possible. Hands? Yes, that's it. The 2 remaining pieces should definitely be hands. What do you mean? Think about it. Hiroi saw Hibiki entering the ghost house between 1755 and 1757. That means he used Setsuka's handbook. Which means that she had Setsuka's— yeah, true. She had Setsuka's hands needed to turn the handbook on. So the remaining 2 hands were carried by Miss' older sister herself? Hold on, that's right before the parade. Hibiki was disguised as Kanade. She would have to meet up with us right after, so she wouldn't have even had time to hide the hands. I mean, she had the hands with her when she was with us. That's exactly the problem, bro. If she had them, we would have definitely noticed them. Finally, some sensible logic. You're most absolutely right. Even if it was my sis with you during the parade, no one knows the whereabouts of those hands during that time. Do you finally see the contradictions? No, it might not actually be a contradiction. Sora? I have a hunch on where the hand could have been, actually. Sora, perhaps you're under... Is that where the pin comes in? Are they fucking under her skirt? Perhaps you're under the false impression that you're smart just because you were able to tag along with Seobai's theory. You're just this disgusting parasite that's always leeching off someone else's ideas and theories. The sheer arrogance in your face as if you figured out something on your own. It's disgusting. Will you please stay out of my sight before I trip up at the sight of your disgusting face? No, Kanade, we'll see who's being arrogant here. This should be Kanade's final line of defense. Break through this and we might be able to end this trial once and for all. Oh. Another one. She's dressed like a metal singer because she likes metal. Yeah, I have to fucking focus for this. This minigame definitely lasts way too long, by the way. Boy, it's fine. Oh. Yeah, I fucked this up. I don't think you fucked anything up. That was like the fucking smartest murder plan I've ever seen in one of these games. You just got extremely unlucky. I don't think she's a void member, by the way. I just think she's insane. This is it. Using hands. What the fuck? The hands were her boobs? That's fucking crazy. She was patting her for fucking... She was patting her bra with fucking hands? What the fuck? I did not think of that. Her chest. She must have hidden Setsuka's hands inside her clothes, or should I say, on her chest. Her chest? Even if Hibiki looks identical to Kanade, they're not completely the same, particularly their body shape is different. The Kanade we saw at the parade was identical to Kanade, to the point where it's almost unbelievable that it was actually Hibiki. And we can assume that she probably used some object to correct her body shape. Are you saying that the object she used were Satsuka's hands? Yes, considering the black plastic bags near the fireplace, they probably used those to carry the corpse piece. If you wrap the hands with multiple plastic bags and hold it inside your clothes... Okay, sure, they were inside the bags. She wasn't raw dogging it. You could not only carry the hands without suspicion, while also correcting your body shape. You could even make a small hole in the bag so that the fingerprints would be exposed, so that you can open the handbook just by putting it inside your clothes. Using this method, you could even freely use Setsuka's handbook to manipulate the ghost house gate records. I see, if she didn't use the hands to correct her size, there must have been evidence of some other object being used, which there wasn't. But how in the world did you come up with that idea? When Kanade said a while ago gave me an inspiration. She said that if you put it in your clothes, it would stick out and cause suspicion, right? But if it was Hibiki using it to disguise into Kanade, it would seem natural. In fact, she actually needed the hands to stick out for the disguise to work. So I must say I'm impressed. But do you have any evidence that my sister had those bloody dime hands on her breasts? If you simply wrap it in plastic bags, people would soon notice if you move just a little. The pins! You have evidence that Hibiki used the hands on her breast. I didn't notice them during the investigation, but that item was probably used here. I do have proof, Kanade. There are pins found near the ghost house, presumably used to fix something in place. Oh, I think this is the first time we've seen Kanade actually, like, taken aback. I wonder about its existence during the investigation, but now I know exactly why it was there. Those pins were used to hold the hands and the clothes tight by pinning them together. And you threw them away just like that? Girl, you're a genius or an idiot. Make up your mind. That was probably because the older sis needed to quickly undisguise herself before entering the ghost house. The older sis. Yeah. Undisguised? I thought Hibiki disguised herself when she was leaving the pool. If the disguise herself was used to carry the hands, why would she suddenly undisguise herself in front of the ghost house? For Hiro to see her, so that in the unlikely event that because kind of this plan was to pin the blame on her sister, and if that didn't work, pin the blame on Iroha. So this was a backup plan. If that didn't work, she wanted Iroha to see Hibiki walk in. Moron, you have Bubblehead to thank for that. Recall who she was entering the ghost house. Stop calling me Bubblehead. It was definitely Hibiki. I know they're similar, but their hairstyle and the hairpins are different after all. For Kanade to make Iroha suspicious, she needed Iroha to witness Hibiki, not Kanade. So she must have thrown away the pins there. I don't know anything about that. So when we were watching the parade, we had Setsuka's severed hand right next to us. Ugh, that's horrifying. Kanade, we have now solved all three of the contradictions that you have presented. The monorail's time schedule, the transportation of the body, and carrying the two hands. This recap is gonna have fucking 20 pages. Like, I believe there aren't any contradictions left. I don't want to continue this trial any longer. Just please admit to it already. Stupid sis. She ruined it all. Giving out a conclusive testimony, throwing away the pins. I could almost laugh at her stupidity. Alright. Yes, I'm the culprit. So it really was Kanade. So you finally admit to it. If it was just me, it would have been the perfect crime. But trying to use sis as an accomplice ended up getting me caught. Haha. Hey, don't be disappointed. Have some confidence. You were amazing. Aren't many people that have smarter brains than you, even in my world. I can guarantee you at least that. Do you honestly think that would make me feel better? That aside, I have something to ask of Kanade. From the looks of Hibiki in this trial, her memory loss was genuine, right? If she just didn't have that trait, I wouldn't have even tried to use her as an accomplice. Even without any memory, she's this stupid. You would have to be an even bigger idiot than her to use my moron of assist as an accomplice while she was herself. Sob. But then... never mind, you've already committed to your crime after all. It hurts me to say this, but I think this is the first time my crime has ever been exposed. What's that supposed to mean? Whatever. What does all that matter now? Okay. Not your first time, clearly. Let's end this now with our votes. Fufu, astounding. This last trial was a series of intense battles between you that surpassed any trials before. As a teacher and the judge, I must say this was very interesting. Well, now that you've reached the answer, it's time to see if that answer is the truth. Never more would there be a trial like this, but it's time to reach out to the truth. Now then, vote for the culprit with the switch in front of you. Will that answer be the truth or not? Fufu. Now. Kane's the culprit. Wait. Something's wrong. Wait. It's still not over? Everyone, wait a minute. Don't vote just yet. Whoa, you told me, Sora. Not this again. What now? What's the matter, Sora? I was about to push the button. Well, what is the matter indeed? Kanade herself admitted it. The case has been solved. There shouldn't be anything wrong. But what is this feeling? I can't shave off the feeling that I shouldn't let the trial end like this. Like some unknown forces behind me. Yuki's luck! What's this unsettling feeling? Siobai, what? I want to ask you as the person who almost single-handedly solved the case. Are you sure we're going to be fine ending the trial with Kanade as the culprit? What? I have no reasons. I don't even know myself why I'm doing this. But I'm not just saying this. I'm serious more than ever right now. Dude, please don't have Kanade be the culprit. She would be so fucking entertaining if she lives for the rest of the game. So, are you alright? You seem a bit weird right now. I don't think Kanade is the culprit. Dude, this is the best fucking trial. What in tarnation? Sorry, what are you on about? Even I'm confused right now. Well, the thing is, I'm sorry, I don't know what I was on about. Sorry, perhaps the long trial has taken a toll on you. You look tired after all. Right, I mean, the case is basically over right now. Did Kanade fuck up her own murder plan and Hibiki accidentally killed Setsuka? Please, just once more. Let's discuss this just once more. We missed something. I feel like we missed something very important. But there's literally nothing more to talk about. Although I can't give a good reason. Please believe me. I beg of you. Even if you say so. Dude, I'm smiling so hard. No, do what the girl says. Siobai, I thought it was over as well. But there's something left. We need to discuss that something. I mean, for me, you're basically extending my life a bit, so I don't mind. But as the culprit, I don't know what there's left to do. Sozi, is Kanade not the culprit? I don't know, but I know I shouldn't let the trial end this way. Then I'm gonna trust Sozi. Honestly, I cannot grasp the reality of the situation. I don't have any memory of today, Kanade killing Suka. Dude, this is so fucking good! And I helped that. I want to believe any of that. So even if I'm terrified, I'm gonna trust Kanade once more. Kanade is my sister after all. What, seriously, what's going on with this trial? Sora. You know what? I don't know what's going on, but I'm on Sora's side. Me too. I'm gonna trust Sora. A little more discussion isn't going to hurt anyone after all. I'm telling you, it's a waste of time. I honestly can't understand the logic behind all this. I don't know what I've done, nor do I know if that was the right thing to do. It was as if some force other than my unconscious was controlling my actions. It's Yuki's luck. I might be troubling everyone with a random thought that had no basis. But still, I cannot go against this force. All that's left for me is to follow it. A scrum debate? Dude, this is so good! Okay, let's go. It's gonna be the antibiotic, right? Dude. I'm like a kid in the candy shop right now. This is what I fucking live for. It's been a while since I've seen a murder mystery that's gotten me this fucking excited. Team Luna. Team Solar. Is Kanade Otonokoji the culprit? She's the culprit. She's not the culprit. I'm the culprit. What more should we discuss when I admitted it? Kanade is not the culprit. We must have made a mistake somewhere. We've solved every trick. Can we just let this end? There may be some unsolved trick left. I believe in Sora. There's nothing left to discuss about. What's wrong with you guys? We won't know for sure until we actually discuss the matter. It's not like we have any other theories. This is just a waste of time. Sora isn't trying to suggest new theories. He's just trying to discuss more about the case. Are you suggesting that the involvement of a third party? Then we'd be back to square one. Third party, my ass. Quit your bullshit. Okay, so we're gonna say it's Hibiki. Are you saying that there was another suspect that even I, the culprit, was unaware of? There are no other suspects, however, we cannot end a trial like this. Trust me. Dude, I'm at a loss for words right now. This is peak among peak. So what are we gonna do about this? We should listen to what Sora has to say. You know she's not the type to do this without any reason. About that, I don't have the reason myself. But we should talk about this more, then maybe we'll get rid of this unnerving feeling. The culprit has already been exposed. Is there anything left to talk about? Or why don't we have a small chat like the friends we are? You know, I agreed with that girl. I also felt that something was off, but I didn't notice it until she mentioned it. We've definitely solved all the tricks. The culprit is Kanade Otonokoji. But is that truly all there is to it? I feel like there should be more to this. That kind of feeling. Exactly, Shiobai. I felt that too, like we've missed one last thing. Would you stop sharing that just between yourselves and let us in? Sora said she didn't know why she felt like that, but Shiobai, do you know the reason why? There are two things that I felt suspicious about. First, what happened to the missing abdomen of Setsuka Chiobukuro? Yeah, sure. Secondly, why did Hibiki Otonokoji help her sister with this whole affair? The missing abdomen and the reason for the cooperation? Let's talk about the first one. I mentioned about the victim's missing abdomen during my theory a while ago, remember? You said it was because of the difference the wound marks would make based on which hand they used. Kanade was left-handed, and to hide the stab wound, she threw away the torso. Thanks to that info, we were able to suspect her. But where's that abdomen really? They would have gotten rid of the abdomen as well as some of the intestines. We can drain the flesh bit by bit down the drain, but... Eek! But that's not the important part. The important part is, was that really the only reason? Since you're also kindly admitted to your crime, I want to ask you, did you really get rid of it just for that reason? Of course, that's what you've deduced, remember? For my inspection, the only lefties here was Iroha and me. If I didn't want to take care of it, it would have come back later to bite me. I did try to abuse this to frame Iroha, but that plan also failed. How could you? Really? Huh? I'm not the type to brag, but I've got an eye for talent. You, a person with that big of a brain, Of all people, wouldn't have done things this sloppily. You say that, but in the end, Kanade did choose this method, right? She herself admitted it. If this was done by spur of the moment, she might have taken this route. But from drugging Bubblehead to rigging the gate records, she definitely planned this way ahead of time. A double-layered trap of framing her own sister as a culprit and as Plan B framing Bubblehead. And even after she was busted, she calmly pointed out contradiction to the theory of her being the culprit. And that same person forgot about the stab wounds, precipitately used her left hand, and only then took care of it. She might have not known about the difference between the stab wounds beforehand. If you've even been listening, by the looks of her dismemberment skill, she's used to this kind of business. I can guarantee that there was no way that a person of that level didn't know about the stab wounds. I think she wanted her sister to kill. Dude, this is a triple mind game. I think Kanade made Hibiki kill Setsuka, and she made it really obvious that it was Hibiki, so that she could point the blame to Iro later, and then if it came down to it, she could take the blame herself. But really, like, Hibiki really did do it. But she's the ultimate guitarist. Considering her profession, isn't it unlikely that she would reach that kind of level? If she really did murder Setsuka, she's probably a Void. The Void is a criminal syndicate, so that may be entirely possible. Siobai does have a point. The fact that she got rid of the abdomen means that she would have known that she would be caught by the left-handed stab wound. If she knew that, she could have just stabbed Setsuka with her right hand. Why would she have gone through the hassle of getting rid of the evidence? It's just that I only realized it after I stabbed her, as you might have already guessed. The knife used to stab Setsuka was the folding one that is in everybody's room. I stabbed her with my left hand without much thought, and only then I realized the potential danger of leaving that kind of evidence. I never imagined that it would actually be someone who would suspect me because of that, but that maybe turned into a reality by Yusio, but that's all there is to it. You who planned this whole mindfuck stabbed her without much thought? Okay, now I know you're hiding something. You would definitely find another method. Even I can think of many options off the top of my head right now. Using your right hand to create more stab wounds so the stab wounds won't be visible, and repeatedly stabbing her with both your hands so we won't be able to tell which one was the first blow. Are we really continuing this? Do you know what I hate the most? Repeating useless stuff that's already over. Just execute me already. Wait, Siobai, enough about that. What about the second suspicious thing? The reason Hibiki cooperated. We really didn't go over this detail during this trial. But why do you think Hibiki Otonokoji cooperated with her sister in the first place? Huh? I don't know, why did she? Didn't Kanade mention something about the altar? That she believes that sacrificing Setsuka's body would grant her wishes? That's right, the motive video. Kanade said the video featured her parents, right? She helped kill Setsuka to save her parents. Even if it meant she bloodied her own hands. Wait, is that really how that went? Yuki? Even if she really believed that concept and put her body on the altar, that definitely is possible, but that's not all she did, right? She disguised herself, rigged the gate records together with Kanade. Isn't that weird? All she had to do to grant her wish was to put each body part on the altar. There was no reason for her to follow the rest of Kanade's plan. You're right. Hibiki wasn't quite herself this morning, granted, but it wasn't like she had lost her mind or anything. Even if seeing Setsuka's dead body made her go mad, this is definitely not normal. Maybe we should think more about this. Maybe we should ask her about this directly. Hibiki, why were you this cooperative to Kanade's plans? Even if you ask me, I have no memory of this. I don't know. I don't know what's what. Considering that she's been next to useless in this trial, that would be a waste of time. The trick wouldn't have worked without Hibiki helping Kanade with everything throughout. Why did she agree to all of this? If it succeeded, she would have died, and if it failed, her sis would have died. You're right, come to think of it, this is pretty weird. The culprit is only one person. Hibiki doesn't have any benefit by becoming the accomplice. Ah, Siobai? Haha. Haha, that's it. So that was it. Holy mackerel. This one's gonna bonkers as well. I got it. A crazy theory that solves all our questions. Really? What is it? Hibiki Otonokoji, you're also the culprit. The culprit's Kanade, isn't it? Did you even hear what I said? I said also. They're not just accomplices, they're both the true culprit. What? What are you talking about? That's impossible. There should be only one culprit according to the class trial rules. It's against the rules for there to be two of them. Since when did the rules say so? What? Don't believe me? Pull out your handbook right now and read rule number 6. Hold on a second. Rule number 6. If two murders, each performed by a different Blacken, occurs consecutively, only the one committed earlier is acknowledged. The part we need to focus on is the part about consecutive murder. This is considering when there are two different Blacken who separately killed two different victims. In the case of two separate Blackens targeting one victims, there's no rule specified about it. Wait, then what happens if something like this case happens? If it isn't a special case like Rule 6, normally the person who last injured the victim while they were still alive becomes the culprit. What do you mean by that? Put it simply, let's say Iro stabs Teruya with a knife. Okay. If I stab a dying Teruya before his last breath, I would become the Blacken that killed Teruya, sure. So that's what happened in case 2 of the first game. So it becomes a game of who made the last shot. I see. If there were two separate victims in culprit pairs, the one that took place earlier gets prioritized. But for two kills and one target, the one who made the finishing blow is the culprit. Excuse me, did you really have to use me as an example? But that still means that only one person can become the culprit in the end, right? You still don't get it? If the person who makes the finishing blow takes the name of the blackened, then if two people injure the victim at the same time, they both become the culprit, capiche? They didn't outright stab her, they knocked her out and stabbed her together at the same time. You're out of your mind. Even if they stabbed her together, there should have been some time difference between them. If one stabbed her just a bit later than... Because they can move 0.0000001 millisecond apart. If one stabbed her just a bit later than the other, then that person would be the sole culprit. Oh really? Then let's take it to the judge. Yo, Bird. Bird, I prefer to be called a crow. That aside, Rule 6 you say. It was put there just in case two separate murder cases happened in the span of one day. Imagine the troubles you would go through of solving two cases in one trial. This is a defense against that. This case is a bit difficult even for me. If they injure the person at the same time, indeed. So is it possible or not? Theoretically, yes, but in reality, it's next to impossible. If a murder occurs anywhere, the high-tech sensors of Utsuroshima detects who it hits last down to 0.001 seconds. If anyone was even that little late, they would become the official culprit by the records. You see, it's impossible. Wait, what if they get it down to the same 0.0001 seconds? Huh? Well, I will measure it down to 0.0001 seconds. And if they do it within the same 0.00001 seconds. Yo, Subai, what are you leading up to? If the time near difference was next to 0 according to the records you're saying, well, if it was that pinpoint, then I admit it, they both become the blackened. Fucking bingo. Wait, that's only theoretically possible, remember? Even if they thought they did it at the same time, there's naturally bound to be some time difference between them. Unless they were machines or something. Nikki's right, I mean, I am capable of doing everything right, but for Sis it would be impossible. Why the sudden passivity? Are you hiding something from us? What do you say? It would have been possible for you twins. If my theory is correct, then that was exactly why you couldn't have left the torso be. Of course, I'm not saying this without any basis. The proof that you two can do it with exact timing was ironically provided by Newsy over there. And me, what do you mean by that? Do you guys remember the interview that Newsy did on the twins back at the second island? How on earth would we remember such a minor thing? They can do it down to 0.00001 second. How rude, my interview was never something minor. Of course, I always remember every detail of my interview. I even have it written down. But why do you remember that? This isn't the focus here. Just shut up and listen. If you have it written down, then that's better. Read the part about the secret behind your signature. Let's see here. So you have shown a fantastic performance, especially the unbelievable synergy between you two. What is your secret behind this synergy? Well, we do practice day and night, but we aren't like any other twin. We're 2 as 1. If we're in beat, we can play within a margin of error of less than 0.00001 second. Isn't that right, Kanade? Oh yeah. I see. So the fact that you're twins is a crucial factor. This is a scope in itself. He's unstoppable. Well, I shouldn't said. We better get going before it gets too late. You gotta be joking. Wait, doesn't this mean... Now you get it? It's not a completely outrageous idea we're dealing with. And they said that comment themselves. Even Kanade Otonokoji affirmed this fact. These two, it would have been possible for them to use their special sense of beat to stab, simultaneously without any error between them. And they really did? Wait, I feel like that was just an exaggerated, playful comment by Hibiki. Logically speaking, this shouldn't be possible for 2 separate people. This is possible within the bounds of logic, you meathead. Meathead? I met a lot of people around the world working as a trafficker. There were a lot of weird bunches when it came to twin. Twins who had the exact same physical abilities. Twins who could reach each other's mind. It's about time I met ones that had identical rhythmic senses. Hibiki and Kanade are identical twins, right? They say that identical twins are almost the same down to the genetic level. They usually have the same personality. You know those stories where twins who were separated still live similar lives when they were apart, right? I see. If this theory were to be true, then that explains the reason why they got rid of Setsuka's torso. If they were able to time the stabbing with their rhythmic senses, they must have used their primary hand, the hand that they use when they're playing the instruments. They probably couldn't risk one of them forcefully trying to use the other hand and failing. So that would also explain why they couldn't have made additional stab wounds. Until Setsuka was most surely dead, they would have to leave only the stab wounds that they made simultaneously. Because it's a system where the person who last injured the body becomes the culprit. But couldn't they have stabbed her after she was dead? Why would they get rid of the torso when... No, it's impossible. A stab wound made before and after the person's dead differs in its appearance. If they managed to stab her simultaneously on the first try, they would have then waited for Setsuka to die naturally. That means she died of a shock from blood loss, which would have taken a lot of time. If they created a stab wound after that period of time, the difference between that and the first one would be soon found. Then someone like me would have questioned it, thinking it suspicious. How can you distinguish the two? Go read a book about it in the library, dipshit. I was just curious, okay? Why you gotta be so mean? It's starting to lean towards the possibility of them both being the culprit. One more thing, you know what's scary about that girl? During the very interview, that girl clearly showed distress when her sis was giving out info without any talk. And when the first trial started, that girl asked Monokuro about the existence of accomplices. In other words, Kanade Otsunokoji was already planning a double blackened murder way back during the first trial. That can't be. Kanade helped us numerous times during the last 2 trials. That was obviously an act to hide her true self. I myself didn't know what I was dealing with until this trial today. In the end, every decisive testimony, one way or another, all started from your damn foolish sister. You could have let the stab wounds be, since only I would have been able to tell the difference. But because you were taking the interview into account, you had to get rid of the abdomen. Identical down to the genetic level, eh? Ironic, you two couldn't have been more different. Siobai, that feeling of discomfort has vanished with your theory. That was it. That Kanade being the culprit wasn't all that there was to it. Hang on, if they're both the culprit, and if we didn't listen to Sora and just voted for Kanade, whether we voted for only Hibiki or Kanade, we would have been wrong and would have been punished. So Sora was right in the end. Amazing, how did you think of this? I did nothing, honestly. Siobai did most of the heavy lifting. Haha, so the two of them did it together? Is that the public opinion right now? I honestly still have doubts about this though. I agree, as much as I want to trust everyone, we have no evidence of this claim. Sure, we have no concrete proof, but if this theory were to be true, then we can also explain Hibiki's cooperation. If they both become the Blackened and win, they both get to escape the island. So Hibiki had an incentive to become an accomplice. This is a true ending of the trial. The Otonokoji twins were both the true culprits of this case. Oh, Sora, do you really think that makes sense, yes? I and I alone were the culprit. You think you're something real special after hearing the disgusting theory from Siobai? I tried to admit my crime and die peacefully, but it seems like I can't even do that without taking a crack at your damn theory. Open your fucking heroes and listen. I'm good. Unused antibiotics. Probably unused antibiotics. I mean, that's the only evidence we haven't used so far. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Fucking. Fuck him. Chill. I have the skill that makes it faster. There are no logical contradictions. Most importantly, if you're the culprit and double blackened theory is right, we lose and you win the trial. Then why are you this desperate about this rebuttal? What did she call us? Okay, so Kanade isn't gonna stay with us for the rest of the game. Unlucky. Proof. You say there's no proof? Obviously, it was impossible from the start. Flawed theory. Let me ask Siobai himself. Do you have any proof? Yes? And you claim to say you know something that even Siobai isn't aware of? Of course not. In the end, this was all just a baseless theory. No, I do have proof. What? After hearing what Siobai said, I looked through every evidence I found once more. And there was one single evidence that didn't have a place anywhere in this theory. Yet nobody knew what it was for. The bottle of antibiotics near the pool. Antibiotics? I don't recall ever seeing that by the pool. But antibiotics in the pool, that's a pretty rare combination. What was that doing there? We can deduce its use if we combine it with Tyria's testimony. Tyria, when you testified about blood packs, didn't you mention another chance in the infirmary? The infirmary. We had the medical kit disappeared for a while and somebody put it back. Are you talking about that? Medical kit? So was that the bottle from that kit? Well, I checked the inventory of each room 3 times a day, morning, lunchtime, and evening. And the medical kit that was definitely there yesterday evening had disappeared when I checked the room this morning. I was gonna tell you guys, but it wasn't like it was a murder weapon, and I just assumed somebody needed it as an emergency. And I saw it sitting there back in its place at lunchtime, as if nothing had happened. So that means somebody used the medical kit this morning, right? What does this have to do? What does this have anything to do with the theory we're dealing with? Looks unrelated to me. As Teria said, a medical kit can't be used to kill someone. And since we're dealing with a murder, a medical kit used to save someone seems far off from the evidence we're looking for. However, I don't think that's the case. This was an insurance used by the culprit to create a double blackened situation. Insurance? You said that they used their primary hand to stab Setsuka simultaneously without any error, right? But as the Obai called it up, Kanade is an extreme perfectionist. What if they managed to fail the timing? Oh no, they didn't. They were gonna use it to heal Setsuka back up if it failed? That's crazy. Exactly. Kanade had taken the medical kit with her for that exact reason. Foster, how can you know if you had succeeded or not in the first place? Dude, Monoko exists for a reason, you know? So they stabbed Setsuka together and called Monoko to check if it could be accepted as double blackened murder. Is Monoko even allowed to tell them that? I mean, there's no reason not to. Telling the blackened that they're blackened shouldn't be a problem, right? That aside, that bottle was decisive evidence. I never saw that during my investigation. Where the hell did you find that? I just kind of saw it rolling around near the pool. But, bullshit, I never opened that damn thing. There's no way I dropped that. Well, no, never opened the thing? Should have said that you never even took it out, idiot. Now you admitted yourself that you took that medical kit. You realize that, right, Kanade Otonokoji? No, this isn't... You making a mistake like that? That wasn't very like you. Was the ball being on the ground that nonsensical? That aside, did she just confess it herself? Unbelievable. Even if I had dropped it, I would have heard it dropping considering its side. But at the very least, I would have noticed the weight decrease from the medical kit. Yeah, I didn't even leave it to Hibiki. I did this part myself just in case stuff like this happened. Unbelievable. Me making a mistake like this? No way, what rotten luck. It seems like for the first time in this trial, we're able to see you getting truly flustered, Kanade. Okay, again, it's Yuki's luck making it so we won, but 1000%, there is not a chance in hell we should have won this trial. Well, we don't know the truth if you did or did not open the medical kit in the end, but if you were this surprised by this accident, and for us, I guess it was truly luck from the heavens. Kanade, so can I take that as a yes? That both you and Hibiki murdered Setsuka? Unbelievable, this can't be happening, this doesn't make any sense, this can't be. If you still can't admit it, then I will go over this case from the start. You won't be able to escape this anymore. I'm good. Dude, I feel bad for Kanade, honestly. She doesn't deserve to fucking lose this trial. Like, no way. Okay, well this is easy. Okay, her skull is very broken. You basically just skip this minigame. Dude, I said this. I feel so bad for Kanade. Dude, if you come up with a plan like this, you fucking deserve to get away with murder. Honestly. Alright, let's get through this. Early in the morning, when everyone was still asleep, the culprit was already busy at work. Using the fact that Mikado prepares her breakfast early in advance, they put sleeping drugs in the coffee at Hiroa's seat. This was to eliminate any alibi Hiroa might have in the afternoon. And when the day broke, the case began for real as the culprit called Setsuka out to the pool. Before they headed to the pool, the culprit took large quantities of blood pack and a medical kit from the infirmary. Since it was already gone by the time Teria checked it this morning, this was the only chance they had to take them. They then arrived at the pool and attacked Setsuka. They didn't quite kill her just yet, but only knocked her unconscious. Immediately after this, the culprit signaled another culprit of this case to the pool. Yes, this was the first time that two people were both the culprit of one murder. Here, the first culprit handed their hand up to the other culprit over the gate. This was to manipulate the gate records, a crucial trick used throughout this case. The second culprit entered the pool using the handbook they were given. The in records of the first culprit and Setsuka already existed in the gate records database. So when the second culprit entered the gates, the result showed an out record for the first culprit. Yeah. The second culprit was able to enter the pool without using their own handbook and leaving a record. Next, the two stabbed the unconscious Setsuka simultaneously with a knife. Originally, the one who stabbed later would become the real culprit, even if it was a matter of milliseconds. I like how you can tell that this is Kanade and this is Hibiki. However, our killers had an extreme sense of rhythm, with each other enough to point its difference was undetectable. This was because they were twins that had ultimate talents related to rhythm. Ultimate talents. After confirming the fact that they stabbed her at the same time, the first culprit left the pool. Here, they used Setsuka's handbook to make it seem like there was nobody at the pool according to the records. And she was leaving, and as she was leaving, she also put up a sign that said, "Pool sanitation time, please do not enter," in front of the pool. This way, no one would enter the pool while they took care of the body. However, the culprit made a huge mistake here. The medical kit that was prepared as an insurance to heal Setsuka in case that they mistimed stabbing her simultaneously. While they were leaving with the newly used medical kit, a bottle of antibiotics had dropped from it. We're not sure how the culprit didn't notice this, but we were able to prove the double blacking theory using this evidence. After the culprit left, she re-enters the pools after 3 hours with the tools she needs. The 3 hours were left blank intentionally to frame Iroha in the near future. Once they had the tools they needed, they began doing their business for a few hours. And by business, I mean cutting up Setsuka's corpse into multiple pieces. The reason they dismembered the body was to transfer the body to a different place, which I'll get to in a moment. Here, they got rid of the abdomen of marks that showed two people, one left-handed and one right-handed, had stabbed the body. Once the dismemberment process was over, they cleaned the pool using its tools, and then the second culprit disguised as the first culprit. They were twins, so a little bit of disguise was enough to make them completely indistinguishable. To correct their body shape, they put Setsuka's two hands in a plastic bag and pinned it on her chest. They needed Setsuka's hands with them to open her handbooks for the trick they needed to pull off in the future. And by carrying the hands as a disguise, it was like killing two birds with one stone. Because they carried Setsuka's hands with them, they were able to use her handbook freely, just like Emma did. The culprit then sent a message to Iroha using Setsuka's handbook. The message called for her to be in front of the mirror mentioned at 18. It was because of this message that Iroha wasn't able to participate with us during the parade. After sending this message, the second culprit leaves the pool while still disguised. She puts the sign in front of the pool back inside and walks her way to Block A. After arriving at the ghost house, she undisguises herself and enters the ghost house while deliberately getting witnessed by Iroha. By getting witnessed by Iroha, the culprit later used this fact to frame Iroha and make her seem suspicious. However, amidst her bust of changing her disguise, the pins used to hold the plastic bag had dropped on the ground, which were used in trial as an important piece of evidence against her. Entering the ghost house, the culprit ran up in time to cut the wires to the fuse box to cause a blackout. They also put out the fire in the fireplace. This was because they needed it to be that way for the other culprit to utilize the chimney later on. The blackout itself was so that the others wouldn't notice what happened inside the ghost house. A little later, the second culprit redisguised herself as the first culprit and left the ghost house. They joined the rest of us at the parade. Of course, none of us even had the thought that the culprit had disguised into someone else. And so the second culprit was able to watch the parade with us without any suspicion. At that time, the culprit was waiting for the monorail at the Block C station. They had moved the corpse pieces to the station from the pool prior to the second person heading over to the ghost house. While the second culprit was over at the ghost house, the first culprit was busy with her work as well, getting rid of the signpost before leaving the pool, and putting the chess piece inside one of the parade dolls in the Block C storehouse. At 1810, the monorail heading to Block A arrived, and the first culprit began the process of removing the body. The method they used was to throw each body piece through the chimney once the monorail goes past the ghost house, one by one. This method, while seemingly impossible for anyone else, was done with ease by our culprit. It made it seem like the corpse had teleported inside the ghost house. However, since the ghost house was next to a track that connected Block A and C, she only had 4 chances for the body pieces, considering that monorail is only active every other hour. As 7 pieces, even excluding 2 hands and the chest that she stuffed inside the parade dolls needed to be transferred, she calculated the monorail timetable and went back and forth between Block A and C. Using this method, they had exactly 7 chances for the body pieces. Dude, just reading this from the beginning, this is fucking insane. They had exactly 7 chances for the body pieces in 1 hour, and with the culprit's perfect aiming abilities, transferring was done. After all the body pieces had been safely thrown inside the chimney, she leaves empty-handed and headed to the storehouse. The parade was almost over, and the chess pieces had been delivered to Block A by then. Meanwhile, the second culprit and the crew were becoming anxious about Setsuka's absence, and they began a search. Pretending to look for her and heading to block A storehouse, the two blackened meet up and switch places. The reason the second culprit disguised in the first place was to create an alibi while the first culprit was busy throwing corpses in the monorail. And since that was finished, there was no reason for the disguise from now on. I had just finished investigating the ghost house and was leaving without any results. And after confirming that I left, the first culprit signals the second culprit who is still inside the storehouse. The second culprit swiftly enters the ghost house with the chess pieces they hid inside the storehouse. Here, she uses Setsuka's handbook so there would be an ID without an out record at the ghost house. After this, they put all the body pieces, including the two hands used for disguise, and the pieces inside the fireplace on the altar. Once the setting was complete, they moved the folding screen in front of the entrance to create space, and started to flood the place with blood using the blood pack they prepared. So the folding screen was literally just bait. This was to create the illusion that the crime scene was the ghost house and the culprit dismembered the corpse behind the folding screen. They created a huge trail of blood leading up to the altar, and spread some on the altar as well for good measure. After all this was done, the culprit deliberately dropped her hairpin near the altar, and sent everyone a message using Setsuka's handbook. The message had to vaguely remind everyone of the ghost house and was used to call everyone to that place. Then they hid in the space behind the folding screen. Okay, so they did it here behind here. They did hide behind here. Waiting for the others to arrive. As we arrived, we followed a trail of blood up to the altar without any suspicion and ultimately entered the altar. When we found the body of Setsuka, I noticed was how the two culprits managed to move the body and fool everyone. The cruel killers who didn't just murder Setsuka but cut up her body into pieces. Yes, the culprits who committed this atrocity of a crime. Kanade Otonokoji and Hibiki Otonokoji, the ultimate guitarist and the ultimate vocalist. It was you two. Are you still going to defend yourself, Kanade? Hibiki, it's the same for you. You might not have a memory of it, but the result of this trial, the results of this trial show the fact that you are also the one who killed Setsuka. No, that can't be. I'm innocent. I couldn't kill Tsuka. Yeah, this is a dream. This is all a dream. Kanade could never kill someone, let alone me. Wake up, Hibiki Otonokoji. Hibiki, I'm afraid this is not a dream. Whether you remember it or not, you have committed a murder and lost a class trial. If the answer we've deduced is true, you'll soon be dead. What? Die? Me? Haha, but that's a bit weird. I haven't done anything. Come on, guys. Kanade, say something to them. You could never actually kill someone, right, Kanade? Don't just stand there, please. Sniff, sob. Help me like you've always done, like when we were young. Sis, when something bad happened, you were always there for me to take care of it. I'm sorry if I was being harsh to you. I apologize for everything. Just help me. Kanade ultimately lost her trial. Even she can't help you in this situation. Let me out, I'm gonna break open this door. No, Hibiki, the trial is still in session. Please return to your seat immediately. Let me go home, I hate it here. I need to save my parents, I'm so sick of this place. Let me out, just let me out. Hibiki, calm down. I wonder, does that girl have any mental disorders? What? I've been keeping an eye on her since she was a suspect during the trial. But something's off with that girl. I mean, the younger sister is a crazy bitch for sure. But the older sis isn't far off as far as I can tell. This is a warning. If you don't return to your senior, you will be severely punished. Shut up! Kanade? Sis. So adorable. Huh? I have no way to run, right? If you can't avoid it, enjoy it. It is tragic that my plan has failed. But if I get to see my sister's most despairful dying moments while I die, it doesn't seem that bad of a death. You've won. We were the culprits of this case. No, okay. Okay, I don't know how much I want to talk about this. This is the best trial in any of these games. In any Danganronpa game. Go fuck yourself. In any Danganronpa game, in any Ace Attorney game, in any of these like episodic like murder mystery things, this is the best one of these I've ever seen. This was so fucking good. Like, that was so fucking good. I'm worried because I don't think the other trials are going to be able to live up to this. Like, there's no way case 4 and 5 are going to be more complicated than this, right? Man. I mean, yeah, that's all I've got to say. That was fucking peak. Like, I'm really, really impressed. It's good that you resolved everything, but the silence. How do you reach an answer for real this time? It's voting time. I swear if it gets interrupted again, I'm going to quit this job. Anyway, what for the culprit of the switch in front of you? Since the answer you've deduced is a double culprit, which is a first in Danganronpa history, I've specifically prepared a panel marked Otonokoji twins in the voting screen just for this occasion. If you truly believe that the two of them are the culprit, vote for that panel, capiche? Now, will that answer be the truth or not? Now. I would like to save. The real culprit who murdered Setsuka Chiebukura was Hibiki Otonokoji and Kanade Otonokoji. Correct, you've got them both right. Okay. This is like a small thing, but it is kind of lame that like for chapter 4 and 5, like I know there's no, I mean I always knew there's no way we can lose because the game has to continue. But there's actually like no stakes. Because if we're ever about to lose, fucking Utsuro's luck is just gonna come and pull us out. Like we should have lost this trial like 10 different times, but Utsuro's luck kept just helping us. So they're both the culprit. To be honest, when they stabbed them together, I had a hard time deciding on what to make of it. A class trial is a system by definition that while multiple victims can occur for one case, no two students can be the culprit. However, I replayed the clip countless times, and no matter how you look at it, they stabbed her simultaneously. Even the computer couldn't detect the time differences. I had no choice but to admit it. In this killing school trip, the rules are absolute, and in this case they did obey the rules. My most honorable praise for the twins as they found a loophole in the rules and used their talents to pull off a feat truly impossible. I was confident I would win this trial. You would have lost if you'd voted for my sis, and that result wouldn't have changed even if you voted for me. Whoever you had voted for, I was going to be safe. And I even had a backup plan of framing Iroha. But for this plan to fail, I truly did not expect this to happen. It seems like I underestimated both Siobai and Sora. He's right, we contributed nothing to this trial, if it wasn't for those two. Honestly, I was mentally prepared for Siobai. I can estimate the threat level of a person immediately at first glance. And ever since our first encounter, I always have been cautious of you. But Sora, what are you? You have nothing special to boot, and you can't even remember your own talent? How is someone like you able to win against someone like me? Sora, what really is your talent? That's what I want to know. You. Twins, answer me, why in the world did you murder Setsuka? Nike? Fufu, what's wrong? I thought you didn't care about whether we died or not. Well, I do have an idea why you're acting like that. What's that supposed to? Forget it, it's not like I'm going to tell you anyways. That aside, you ask why we killed Setsuka, yes? Kanade, I can understand maybe, but Hibiki was very intimate with Setsuka. Why did Hibiki murder Setsuka? Don't you get it, bro? They're voids, both of them. Obviously that's the only obviously that's the only logical reason. It happened last time and the one before. We're trying our best to harmonize and survive, and you're trying to ruin it. Then the two twins were both voids? Is that really how it is? Peek up, Hibiki Kanade. Were the two twins voids? Was that again the reason that this murder had to happen? We have 3 void survivors if we include Mikado. If the 2 of them are voids, we know the identity of all 5 voids. And just when we were waiting for the twins to answer. I'm terribly sorry to interrupt this, but... And don't speak another word, just shut up. I haven't told you what I was going to say. You're being especially rude to me today, Turia. Well, I do have some important news. The thing is... So they're not voids, those 2 twins. What? What do you mean? Why are you the one to decide that, Yulo? No, he's absolutely right. The Otonokoji twins have no relations with us voids. Huh? But the voids were supposed to murder each. It seems like you're confused because the previous murders were all committed by us voids. But the voids are simply there for plan B. I've repeated myself countless times. Anyone can become a murderer. I can tell that at a glance. The voids up until now strictly did things by the rules. They wouldn't dare to do something this vague on whether it's against the rules or not. And that is exactly why I feel very conflicted about this. Where was my poor void fellow when they were supposed to kill this time? What? But that means they killed someone. Okay, so Nike is a void. That means they killed someone when they weren't even a void? Why, if they weren't a void, what reason was there for them to kill someone? Ah, that's right, Yuki. We've made a mistake in thinking it was common sense that a void will always be the one to murder one of us. There was a motive for every one of us this time. The motive videos that Mikado gave us. That's right, even I had forgotten about it. The Blacken of this case gets not only escape this island if they win, but they also get to know the ending of their motive video. The motive video I saw didn't affect me in any way, but for the others, things were different. It even came up during the class trial. Hibiki and Kanade said that their parents were in trouble in their motive video. I wonder if that's true. That was their motive for this murder. Dang it, I should have been more careful. I was so focused on the void that I forgot about something more important. Mikado, this is all because of you, forcing us to murder each other. Well, actually, no. Kanade was planning a murder way before this. Way before the motive came out. Forcing us to murder each other with motives or whatever. I'll never forgive you. Excuse me. It wasn't really like that. What? I said, I didn't do it necessarily for those stupid videos. My sister could have done it for her parents, but to be honest with you, I couldn't care less about those things. Those things? But they're your family. My sister is the only family I've got. And you said yourself during the trial. I've been planning a double Blacken murder ever since I heard about the rules of this class trial. The motive videos were distributed just yesterday, so how could those be the motives for a murder? Then why would you use something as horrible as killing someone? I don't know where to start. Well, everyone, take a look at Hibiki here. Let's start from there. What about Hibiki? Don't you think something's off about her? Hibiki? Hibiki, you're still part of all this. Speak up. Is she alright? Oh my god, so cute! The hell? Kanade? Everyone, meet my lifelong project and the motive of this murder, so what do you think? What nonsense is that? I can't keep up with all this. Still don't get it? I'll tell you everything one by one. Hibiki, hand. Do a backflip. Oh, that scared me. Say you love me with a smile. I love you, Kanade. Me too, I love you too, Hibiki. Oh, what is this? What's going on? Hibiki? Hibiki, wake up, Hibiki. It's no use. Hibiki and this kid can only listen and react to me. How did you do it? Hypnosis? Mind control? So that was what you meant by that. No wonder the little shit's action didn't make sense. So, do you know what's going on? Now, how can I put this? The culprit of this case wasn't Kanade Otonokoji and Hibiki Otonokoji, but more like Kanade Otonokoji and also Kanade Otonokoji. What do you mean? Speak some sense. Why the hell are you always shouting at me? The trial's over, so I'm not gonna give two shits about you. Ask the girl herself. So, don't y'all agree that my precious toy is adorable? Kanade, would you please kindly explain what's going on here? It's my pleasure. We two are gonna die anyways, after all. If we're going to talk about this, everything started way back when we were young. We're identical twins, 10 seconds apart from each other. I can't remember if I knew it instinctively when I was born, but I realized something when I was around 3 or 4, that I was better than Hibiki in every way. Are you talking about your talents? Everything. Talent, personality, skills, or whatever. But as soon as I realized that, Hibiki must have also realized that she was the lesser of the two. And ever since she acknowledged that, when we were young, she had been abusive towards me. As I was too young at that age, I didn't object to her actions. And I ended up giving in to her. And one day, her mother told my sister to play with me for a change. But Hibiki back then loved Shiro so much that she replied she loves Shiro much more than me. And those words hurt a lot, especially as a kid. Shiro? Who's that? A puppy we used to have as children. Did you kill the puppy? A small, kind, white teacup poodle who was really friendly with people. Even when I was being abused by Hibiki, I still loved Hibiki. I thought of her as family, and I wanted to get along with her. But when I heard that Hibiki liked some puppy more than me, I felt an uncontrollable wave of jealousy. As long as Shiro was alive, I was never going to get closer to Hibiki. That was when I decided to get rid of it. Get rid of it? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? I literally got rid of it. The next day, when I was alone at home, I butchered Shiro with a kitchen knife and threw it away down the drain. What? You're kidding me, right? As small and wretched thing that was, it was still a creature of life. That meant I had to cover up a lot of things to not get found out, but somehow it all seemed easy. Probably because I was a genius. After a while, poor little sis was frantically searching for Shiro, but alas, she wasn't able to find it. Of course she wasn't able to. What remained of it was probably indistinguishable from sewer sludge by then. So you killed your sis' favorite dog to get friendly with her? Like hell that would work, you're out of your mind. I know, as soon as I realized I did something wrong, I did feel a bit guilty. But the reaction Hibiki showed afterwards soon got rid of any afterthoughts I had. Instead of bullying me again for the loss of her puppy as I expected, she started to cry in my arms. Kanade, help me, what should I do? She cried. And that face of hers back then was the face of an angel more precious and adorable than anything I'd ever seen. Since then, Hibiki turned into an extremely passive and weak state whenever she was mentally backed into a corner. And every time that happened, she cried to me for help and depended solely on me. That was when I started to train my little Hibiki. Train? Unbeknownst to Hibiki, I had schemed multiple mental shocks for her in secret. All high and mighty, abusing her little sis by the day, but in reality she was being mentally tortured by her very own sister. Being mentally weak, Hibiki in her shocked state could not even remember what happened afterwards. And now, even the innocent ignorance of her abusing her little sis without knowing anything about what happens off stage is so lovely that it drives me insane. And that's how I slowly but surely modified Hibiki to my taste ever since I was young. I tried out numerous methods, but the best one is to eradicate Hibiki's most precious person. Like with Shiro, every time Hibiki made a close relationship with someone, I got rid of them one by one. Yumi, her best friend during grade school, got kicked from the top of the stairs and now she's stuck in the hospital, paralyzed for the rest of her life. The nerve of that girl. Your sister feels sorta creepy, so we should keep her away from her. Honestly, that bitch deserved it and more. Our middle school homeroom teacher that Hibiki had a crush on, I gave him an extra little muscle relaxant and buried him on a hill near the school. That pedophile pervert must have had indecent thoughts with my precious Hibiki. So that was an act to save her from him. Even after we started her band, there was a recording engineer, makeup coordinator, or manager. I got rid of each and every person connected to Hibiki, and now even the slightest of hardship will cause Hibiki to turn weak. She's more dependent on me than ever. So that's why you got mad when Hibiki actually got better on her own, right? Wait, what? So you're basically saying that Setsuka wasn't your first victim? No way, unbelievable. Yo, what's your body count? Well, I don't keep track of everyone I kill. I guess around 60. Alright, you win. That's funny. I mean, it's come to a point where I just get rid of everyone acquainted with Hibiki. How in the world did you not get arrested for all this? Well, it's either because I was too perfect or because the cops were too stupid. My bet is on both. That's why I told you, this was the first one that I actually failed. Is that why you killed Setsuka? Because she was friendly with your older sis? It didn't have to be Setsuka, so long as the person was the one most intimate with Hibiki. Though she did get on my nerves, to be honest. Anything that could help Hibiki recover from her mental state must be eliminated. Why? For what reason? Why are you so obsessed with Hibiki? Reason? How about I ask you a question instead? Do people need a reason to love someone? I love Hibiki. If you could have your loved one all to yourself, anyone would have done the same. You're crazy, you're insane. I can't even hear another word from you. You don't deserve any sympathy whatsoever. Go to hell. Hold on a minute, Kanade. How did this story relate to Hibiki acting like a puppet right now? I forgot about that part. I guess it was around the time I made sushi out of her coordinator. When Hibiki realized that the coordinator she was close with had gone missing, she came to me crying. But something was different. She was bawling like usual when suddenly her eyes lost focus and she didn't show any human reaction. And when I spoke up to her, she started to do exactly everything I told her to do. No complaints, no reaction, like as if I was controlling a game avatar. That might have been one of the happiest moments of my entire life. This is being controlled by my words. Just thinking of it makes me... Afterwards, whenever Hibiki's mental state took a certain amount of damage, she turned into a puppet. Like this. It only lasted for a short time, the first time around, but in time it lasted longer and longer. Until now, I can just switch it on and off whenever I order her to. From that day onward, my training goal for Hibiki had completely changed. If I previously trained her to only look towards me, I now train her to be the perfect puppet. My final goal was to make Hibiki my very own puppet all the time, regardless of her mental state. If we had escaped off this island after killing Setsuka and maybe killed one or two more people, I could have achieved that dream. What a waste. I see, so that's why Siobai said the culprit was Kanade and Kanade again. Kanade did this to Hibiki so that her sis could act as a duplicate and commit the ultimate perfect crime. When did it all start? When did Hibiki start acting like this? Was she already in this state when we met her this morning? No, she still retained herself back then. Throughout this killing school trip, I was looking for the perfect opportunity. The point where Hibiki's mentality reached a threshold. And through that motive video of her parents getting attacked, I knew it was time. So I just executed my plan that I prepared. Your plan? Now that I've already been revealed, there's actually one more in place that I used the blood packs for. What? As you have deduced, I woke up early and called Setsuka to the pool. Then I ambushed her from behind and knocked her out. And then I poured blood all over her unconscious body to make it look as if she was dead. Why do such a gross thing? Because that was a trigger that would turn Hibiki into a puppet. I immediately called Hibiki out to the pool and made her enter the place using my handbook. Her innocent Hibiki entered the pool and soon witnessed the fake crime scene. How would you react if you had watched a disturbing video of your parents getting attacked the night before, only to see the bloody corpse of your best friend? As a person who controlled her mental state for years, I knew. I knew just how much mental damage it took for her to become my little puppet. The consecutive loss of your precious ones. I had the screams that my sis yelled. I still get the chills. So when Siobai said the amount of blood used at the ghost house seemed a lot less than the amount of blood packs taken, there's the actual reason why. How could you? Controlling someone as you please, and she's even your family. How was I supposed to make stupid Ibiki cooperate with the plan if I didn't take control over her? She wasn't going to agree on killing someone in her normal state in the first place. This was all for Hibiki. She did want to leave this island after all. That was all ruined by you people. Does Hibiki know any of this? Of course not. Hibiki loses most of her memories when she regains her sanity. So it would be next to impossible for her to know this. But Hibiki still cared about you and loved you more than anyone. Kanade Otonokoji, as a human being and as a family, you really are the worst. Call me whatever you want. People come in different shapes and sizes after all. I didn't really expect for you to understand me anyway. You're a crazy girl. Not that it matters now, but let me ask you a question. You admitted to your crimes towards the end of the trial, right? Wouldn't someone as smart as you have been able to find another way out back then? Now what nonsense is he on about? Feels a bit weird, like we didn't win for real, like she gave it to us. I wouldn't have been able to guess the double blackened part with the albino girl. I might have still had a shot at winning a trial. I'd rather keep my dignity than struggle till I went down ugly. When the double blackened murder had surfaced, it was already game over for me. Moreover, I want to see Hibiki despair. Despair? I honestly didn't have any regrets in my life. I already played with my sister to my heart's content. Of course, escaping this island and being together with a completely puppetified Hibiki does sound tempting, but nothing beats my desire to watch Hibiki's face full of despair. Not just any despair, the one moment before death, the one just before her life ends, the one she'll take to her deathbed. One gripe I have about puppet Hibiki and mentally broken Hibiki is that her face is too predictable, making it uninteresting. Just imagining what my poor sis will look like when she comes to the realization of what's coming for her makes me so excited. Okay, so this is very Junko. This is exactly what Junko was talking about, but like despair is unpredictable. Yo, albino, are you talking to me? Do something about this, will you? This girl is too crazy for even me to handle. You're good at stuff like this, right? What do you mean by it? But when I looked around, everyone was silently looking away from Kanade, and rightfully so. Her story seemed out of the world, even for me. A story from a fantasy world, one that was too insane for us to even comprehend. A degenerate who makes you want to grow up just from the fact that you're breathing the same air as her. That was the true identity of Kanade Otonokoji, a person whom we once thought as her friend, as her classmate. But the worst thing was that she wasn't done just yet. I guess then now we can proceed to the finale? Oh wait, just one moment, Monokuro. I forgot to mention I found this while rummaging through her pockets. Would you care to explain what this is? This is a note that I found inside Setsuka's pockets when I killed her. I was so busy that I didn't have time to read the details, but the fact that she had it on her body probably means that it contained an important message for us, right? Setsuka, read it now. Hold on. This. Why, what does it say? Pfft, wow. Wow, do I feel bad for you guys? Would you just tell us already? Mikado, you sure you'll be alright? What, I'm not following you. Well, it's just the void. Wow, you guys have a tough road ahead as well. Kanade, what does the note say? This is a will written by Setsuka. A will from Setsuka? It seems like in case she was killed, she kept track of all the information she learned. Information? I don't recall Setsuka ever telling us about that. She must have discovered something. I don't know why she didn't tell us sooner, but she must have found something big. She's not going to tell us. Come to think of it, she was acting weird ever since we arrived on the third island. You're right, she did talk like something was up back when the motive was revealed as well. Man, this really is big news. She kept this to herself? So what does it say? Just tell us. I'm so sorry for this, but... so based. I'll be taking this as keepsies to my grave. No, Setsuka's will. Put it out the info, bro. We're too late. I know as small as this burns out in a matter of seconds. You, what the hell do you think you're doing? This note contains incredible information, amazing scoops that could be really damaging for Mikado. But what does that have to do with me? I'm about to die after all. I'll leave this and everything up to you. Were you expecting a silly, dramatic ending like that? Unfortunately, I'm not that good of a person. Rather, I despise each and every one of you. You ruined my perfect plan of escaping this island with Hibiki. Yet this is my petty revenge for losing the class trial. An adorable tantrum by me, if you will. I really like this because in the first game, I don't think any of the cases killer were ever like reprehensible. Like all of them were like sympathetic at the end. But this, she's really like a complete like other degenerate, as Sora said. No, it turned into ash. Oh god, no, please. You're being awfully persistent, Nikkei. Boy, I wonder why you're acting like that. you little. Yuriko, calm down. Violence is against the rules. Now I can finally die without any regrets. Let's go, Monokuro. I'm sure you have prepared a wonderful and fitting execution for Hibiki and I. No, hold on. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but there's still some things left to do. Have you all forgotten? The black end of this clash royale had the right to know the ending of their motive video, regardless of the results. The execution comes after that. Honestly, I couldn't care any less. Let's just skip to the good part and start the execution. You may feel that way, but Hibiki begs to differ, don't you think? The clash royale acknowledges both of you as blackens, so obviously she has the right to see her video's ending. Considering you two have the same motive video, so I'll just have to play one. I see, poor sis. Guess it wouldn't hurt to let her know what happened to her parents before death. Sis, wake up, come on, look up and focus your eyes on me. You're returning to your own self again. Now. Kanade? Is this trial grounds or I? Sis, we're going to be executed, but before that, you're going to let us see the ending of our motive video as a price for being blackened. Come on, why don't we watch it before we die? Die? Me? Don't you remember? You and I killed Setsuka and we lost the class trial. No, that can't be. I would never. Why would I get executed when I did nothing wrong? Wow, please don't. I don't want to die. Hibiki, come on, don't cry. You're not a baby now, are you? Come on, look at the screen as procedure. It is required that you watch the video. Wait, why am I the one consoling her? Sis, aren't you curious about who really attacked Mom and Dad? At least we get the chance to know who did it. Or would you rather just die now without knowing what happened? Sob sniff. Well, she doesn't seem like she's fine, does she? Well then, I'll start the video. Don't kill me. Why would you, Is it gonna be Hibiki killing her parents? The huge screen over her head showed a video of a couple looking to be around their mid-40s or 50s getting stabbed repeatedly by someone. The man seemed like he was already dead, with blood spewing out of his throat like a fountain, falling out as she pleaded for her life. At least we get the chance to know who did it. No, Mom, Dad. This video is first person perspective, recording for the very person who murdered the Otonokoji's parent. Being recorded in a cheap camcorder, the quality isn't quite something to write home about, but I can't watch it any longer. This is too horrible. Monokuro, Mikado, who really are you guys? How do you get the footage of the twins' parents getting murdered? Not just that, even the motive videos. How do you get your hands nose? Well, do I really need to answer that? Wait a minute. Not for the climax. The identity of the assailants will not be revealed. I'm sure you're more curious than ever, dear Kanade and Hibiki. Let's find out who done it. Ha ha. Phew. The person after murdering the couple was breathing heavily as they looked around. It was as if they were looking for something. The video wandered from place to place until it stopped at a full-body mirror at the corner of the dark room. In that mirror, the reflection showed who the mysterious assailant was. Wonder who it could be. Ha ha. It's hot in here. Is she horny? The person in the mirror, the person who savagely murdered Hibiki and Kanade's parents, was none other than Kanade herself. What? Kanade? What's going on? You even killed your own parents? You're kidding me, right? Kanade, tell me it's not true. It was you? You killed Mom and Dad? I trusted you all this time, so then what's this? Mikado, would you care to explain this video? I never murdered my parents. Sure, this is definitely our house, but I never did such a thing. Granted, I did plan to murder my parents eventually as a finale to my Hibiki puppet plan, but I decided now is too early. I don't know what the exact details, as Monokuro is the one who's controlling most of this killing school trip. Okay, so our memories are erased and we're all despair, right? But I can say for sure that both this video and the videos that everyone received are certainly not made up in any way, shape, or form. I swear it's true on my magician's oath. Nobody gives a shit about your oath, that doesn't sound that convincing. I get that you're angry, but stepping on my pride like that? Wait a minute. Haha, so that's it. So that's how it was all along. Amazing, I never would have guessed. What a twist. What's up with her? Wow, what a shame, for real, what a shame. Did not see the aftermath of this after getting to know such a big secret. And that's where the video ends. It seems like you realized something, Kanade. Don't you worry, I won't spoil anything for the rest of you. Hibiki and I will take the secret to our graves. Students, I know this isn't the time to interrupt, but it is already past midnight. The trial is almost over. You'll need to get a good night's sleep for tomorrow, right? Come on, sis. It's finally time for the finale. Show me, sis, your most despairful last moments of your entire life. No, don't come in closer, you monster. I don't want to die. Why should I be the one to go? I didn't do anything wrong. Now, I've prepared a very special punishment for the ultimate vocalist, Hibiki Otonokoji, and the ultimate guitarist, Kanade Otonokoji. Hibiki! Get away from me, somebody help me! For this case, since there were two Blacken, we're going to have the same execution for both of you. Sora, help me! Nike, Hiro, Yuki, Shinji, Yuriko, just anyone save me! This is fucked up. Now let's do this. No! It's punishment time! Dude. That was a long fucking trial, by the way. That was like 4 hours. The twins have been found guilty. Yeah, she's into it. Live only. That's not real. This is a fucking saw trap. Melody Rhythm Final Concert. Final Death Concert. And Kanade came for the first time in your life. That girl died laughing. She really is one scary girl. Hibiki and Kanade were executed. The third class trial, the third execution, and so another two have left us. Even though the execution has ended, nobody spoke a word. Perhaps it was because Kanade rattled us till our very last moment. Or maybe another, after 3 repeated defeats by the despair that is reality, we had lost even the strength to open our mouths. But to me, as of now, I had no way of knowing. Siobai, where are you going? What, we're finished, right? We're free to leave now. And don't speak to me. Back then it was only because we had a mutual goal that was a class trial. Now that that's over, don't bother me again, capiche? Dang it. Kanade was a human degenerate that deserved to die. But Hibiki, if what Kanade said was true, Hibiki was merely used in this case by Kanade. I should have done something, anything, so that this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Damn it. Nike. Kanade, what a person she was. Now that's a person who I call worthy of being a void. I really do hope that the other remaining two learn a thing or two from her. I honestly don't have the... Okay, so, yeah, okay. I honestly don't have the strength to yell at you. Just leave us be. Oh dear, did I hurt your feelings? Well, I'm terribly sorry. But yes, as Monoko said, it had become terribly late. And Shinji, you're right. We should all go take a rest. If you ask me, I don't feel quite good about this as well, although for a different reason. Hold on, if you excuse me. Okay. I'm crossing my fingers. Please, please, please. This is all a simulation and Kanade still alive at the end. Please, just like Danganronpa 2. Please, I need Kanade to be alive. She's so fucking entertaining. Let's think positively, everyone. Theory is right. We're better off not having someone like Kanade among us. I mean, really, living together with a criminal like that? No thank you. Hibiki, well, she was pretty unlucky to have someone like Kanade as her family. I thought you liked Kanade, Yura, that you depended on her for class trials. As before, I knew she was a total maniac. But no worries, we have Sora and Siobai on our side, and all we have to do is prevent any murders from now on. So please, let's all smile. You think this is funny? What? Don't you get what kind of situation we're in? There was a murder and we've pulled through all that shit to win a class trial and the culprit wasn't even a void. We didn't get to know what Setsukai had investigated. There's still 3 voids left. There were 16 of us when we started, now there's 9 of us. That's almost half of us gone. And you're saying that we should think positively? Huh. You didn't have to say it like that. I just wanted everyone to feel better. Like hell we would. Yet we have literally no hope at all now. Eek! Yuki, please don't take it out on Iroha and calm down. We all feel the same. Bro. Huh? What? You said that you wouldn't let anyone die from now on, right? Well, now there's 3 more dead bodies to count. Try harder next time, will you? Yuki, you're being a bit of a jackass. Yuki, Yura, why is he like that? Why is everyone bullying me? Yura, would it kill you for you to read the mood for once? But I'm sorry. Shinji, why did you let Yuki act like that? Because he's right in every way. I didn't keep my promise. No wonder he's acting like that. I'm such a loser. Sorry. Why are things turning out this way? What did we do to deserve all this? I'm just so tired. Don't worry, guys. Teruya? I'll find a way out. I'm an executive at the Kisaragi Foundation. The Foundation, no matter what, never lets despair get away with things. I'll protect you at whatever it may cost. Whatever it may cost. After Teruya left, those of us remaining one by one managed to drag our bodies out of the trial grounds. Yuriko, who couldn't stop her tears, Uro, who looked somewhat nervous, Shinji, who looked to be deep in thought. No one spoke a word in the elevator back to the monikers. This was a class trial more tiresome than ever, and it looked like it's going to get only harder from now. What were we supposed to do? The first thing I did when I arrived at my room was to throw myself onto the bed. I didn't have the strength or the urge to wash myself or change with clothes. Perhaps I just wanted to escape from this reality. I was almost at the breaking point. I was only trying to act patient for the others who were in despair. I also wanted to cry my heart out like Yuriko. It felt painful. Yuriko's words just now rang inside my head. Why are these things happening to us? Did we do something wrong? Is this a punishment to atone for our sins? I had no idea. For now, my tiresome body had given up on everything, and I decided to give in to this wave of sleep. Are you a void, Yura? Are you there? Over here. Yeek. Why are you so startled? Do you have something to confess? Mikado, what's up? Why do you call me so late at night? Fufu, what's up? Okay. What is up? I'll tell you what's up, you little stupid brat. Squeal! Yura needs you. Are you even aware of the fact that you're a void? Okay, so the two remaining voids are Hirua and Nike. It was your turn last time. Emma's still in your spot? That I can understand. The corrections were made in the end after all. But if you ruin everything one time, you're supposed to make it up the next time. There were supposed to be two victims in this case. A double murder, you hear me? Let's talk about what actually happened. Let's see, the cases weren't similar, and to top it off, two Blackens? How are you going to take responsibility for all this, Well, when I found Setsuka's corpse, I thought to myself, well, it seems like Hiro is finally pulling her own weight. I even marveled at your wits when trial panned out as if you were the murderer. But what the hell is this outcome? I honestly couldn't have ruined these things this badly even if I tried. Tell me, what did you accomplish on this island? Well, I was going to do something, but kind of they acted too quickly that I don't want to hear excuses, you useless trash. I even gave you a tidbit before the motive reveal. You probably weren't even paying attention, were you? Were you making fun of me? Eek. Answer me, why do you think I included someone as useless as you in our team? I told you before, you're just here to fill up the numbers. You're just here for the ride, so don't worry. But even so, shouldn't you at least do what you want promised to do? If this plan fails, then your life is going down the drain as well. So you're planning to go kamikaze on all of us? Wait, but it wasn't my turn originally, and I didn't even have time to discuss the plans. So how was I supposed to do anything on my own? Use his powers, for God's sake. You saw the class trial, didn't you? The outcome is already decided. You just have to have the will for it. And you're trying to make excuses when you haven't even done that much, but... Fufu, very well. As much as I'm disappointed in you, things didn't completely go south. It's still not too late, so I'm giving you another chance. Think of it as an act of mercy. For I am very forgiving. Next island, you're in charge of the murder there. What? But... Relax, there's nothing to worry about. Everything will go as planned under his protection. You just gotta wish for it. But the next island, it's that person's turn, so I think I'll just... That person? If you really think they're still on our side, just how stupid... Yeah, Nike. It's Nike. Just how stupid can you get? What do you mean? The damn brat betrayed us long ago. Didn't you notice something was off ever since we arrived on this island? Trying to ruin everything. I've already noticed it. And I'm wondering what punishment I should give out. Not doing this to you without any reason. Believe me, if that person was on our side, of course I'll ditch you and leave everything to them. Stats-wise, they're far superior to an idiot like you. So it's just me and you. Now you get why things are getting serious? If you understood, follow my orders. If you do so, you, me, and everyone one of us will regain happiness. Well then, I have high expectations for your marvelous murder case. Don't let me down. But I... What's the matter? Wait, don't tell me you wouldn't dare think of backstabbing me like that brat, would you? No, I would never. Just do it. It isn't that hard. You'll only have to wait just a bit longer, after all. The day of his resurrection is almost here. Now, this is the end of our conversation. If we linger any longer, someone like Siobai is bound to find us. We should head back. If I were you, I wouldn't dare think of betraying us for your own good. Sniff. Yeah. Sniff sob. Oh. Okay, so the remaining two voids are Iroha and Nike. Okay. That chapter was so fucking good. The girl who looked evil in the evil abyss. That's kind of I get it. This chapter was unbelievably good, man. That was like a 10 out of 10, like unironically. There's no way in hell the chapter 4 and chapter 5 can live up to that. There's no way. Okay, I've been recording for like 4 hours though, because I did both trial parts at once. Feel like I gotta take a break. I would like to save. Man, that was so good. I'm just gushing, but that was incredible. I'm really glad I decided to play this game. Honestly, I like the first game was like kind of mid, but like it was all of it was worth it just for this trial. That was one of the best murder mysteries I've ever experienced. Yeah, that was fucking amazing. Really excited to see where the story is gonna go, but also kind of worried because I feel like I'm gonna be disappointed because there's like no way it can live up to that. But yeah, that was amazing. I'm really loving this game so far. I said this before, but that case was better than any of the cases in the main game, I think. I think the only other case that's close is case 5 in Danganronpa 2. That one was also really, really good. But yeah. Anyways, see you next time for the start of chapter 4.